Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on, team? Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. My goodness, it is Fed Day today. Guys, the Fed will be speaking today at about 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and it is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on. What is up, James? Let's get the party started. Let's get that show started, right, my boy? I'm really happy to see you here, my dude. So, what's going down with AMC and GME? My goodness, so the algos have intertwined yet again, or what, man? Very, very interesting. Let's go ahead and start up a new chart right there. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on those two as the day kind of progresses, right? So let's go ahead and put it right in there. Michael Dixon, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you here. I am going to load up both of those tickers that somebody said that the algos have intertwined yet again. I don't know if you guys remember that, but AMC and GME were running in tandem for actually for quite a while now, man. It's been definitely some time. So let me go ahead and just include that right over here as we definitely want to see what type of movement we're getting for both the assets, right? But guys, happy hump day, right? We have made it to Wednesday. We have survived yet again, right, you guys? And we have already come by into, guys, we made it to the next rate hike. This could be the most important day that the markets could have faced in at least 2 years, guys. Today. Okay, so if the Fed decides to pause their rate hikes, guys, the markets may actually rally to the upside, continuing that crazy run, right? So I'm not gonna lie, I have a very tight stop loss. I am short the market. I am short the SQQQ, right, you guys? I now believe that SQQQ is actually gonna capitulate here if we do get that pause for the rate hikes, right, you guys? If they do, if they increase by a quarter bip, then so be it. Things happen, you guys. We just have to be reactive to the market, right, instead of trying to predict it, right, you guys? So I think everything is looking pretty good. Let me go ahead, like I said, and load up AMC and GME here, and we'll kind of keep an eye on both of those, right? So let's see what they're looking like thus far. So, well, yeah, I mean, they do still have that correlation, right? They're very similar here in price action, especially on the bi-daily chart. So let's see what's going on in the shorter time frames. Indra, of course, we will absolutely take a look at SONN, right? So another thing that we actually want to see here is in the other screen right over here. Please take a look at the ticker VIRI as it is resisting right from the top side that we were talking about. Here is our resistance level. We did speak about a potential retracement for a little further up as well in the target that the pennant was drawing, right? So that price objective was actually coming around to around 215, right where the 3.618 was met, but my absolute top side was drawn to be at about that 206 level at the 3.272 and down here at the 199, right? So this was overall the resistance that we've been looking at for quite some time now, you guys. And the candle, this 8-hour candle that we're looking at, has a high of 207. Not bad, if I do say so myself, you guys. So absolutely congratulations to those. I did flag this thing as soon as I could, right? So we actually got the volatility and momentum absolutely stacked on this, and highly likely, I mean, in yesterday's video, I literally put it down just like that. It was a high probability that ticker symbol VIRI would continue for another, I would say, total 20% run thus far. Okay, you guys, so this is absolutely looking powerful on the day. So keep your eyes on that ticker symbol VIRI. Another one that we've been actually kind of eyeballing here is ticker symbol COSM, as I did flag a very important move to the upside. We absolutely have the upside curvature on stochastics, and we have increasing volatility coming right out of contraction for COSM on the 8-hour. So please go ahead and notice right over here that these are the stats that we looked at, right? So anytime that volatility has contracted into the critical zone, which is down here at that 15 percentile, and started to expand to the upside, That paired with stochastic momentum with an upside pivot, I have taken iteration of every single time that has happened throughout the entire trading history of the COSM asset, right, you guys? So upon that back test, we have actually 6 iterations guessed correctly to the upside out of a total 9. Okay, so that gives us a 66% probability with about a 207% upside thrust over the span of about 6 and just over 6 days, right, you guys? So what's important here is not too much that we have a standard deviation of a massive 382% to the upside, but it's actually the upper end or the upper bound of the first standard deviation leading to this massive target. So please remember, guys, there's a lot of speculation behind me calling out some massive statistics like this, but I am not making up the numbers. It is just what it is, you guys. They're just statistics. What can I say, right? So upon that upside, please do remember that we have a 207% mean, right? So there's literally from yesterday's price action close or traditional market close, we have 207% to look at, right? So not as a top side. I mean, sometimes it meets it, right? But we have everything in between to kind of look at as a potential upside or a target for that asset, right, you guys? So I just wanted to point that out, that signal has officially fired. We definitely have the upside on stochastic momentum. We have ADX right now. DMI Plus is actually supporting us right now. The bulls are leading the way, and we absolutely have the ADX, which is the average directional index, which tells us which way the market is trending right now. It is absolutely positive to the upside with a massive 37% ADX. So anytime that ADX is actually at or above that 30%, that is already a very strong market trend to whoever is leading the way as far as DMI plus or DMI minus. In this case, you can see that DMI plus leading is the bulls, and we get that market trend validation as well, guys. So this is a statistical move with DMI validation or DMI support. We are very likely going to see a continuation to the upside, and it has already reached the top side, let's see, of about $3.50. Okay, so I'm not at that resistance just yet. In fact, I can see a continuation to the upside with enough volume to about that 387 target. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and keep an eye on COSM as well, because that is continuing to rip and melt some faces. VIRI holding off very, very nicely here, 203 on the day. Let's go ahead and switch off the screens and take a look at what the immediate short-term time frames are looking at for ticker symbol AMC and GME, right, you guys? We're going to follow up with GTII and a few other tickers as well, right? So yeah, there could be a little bit of a shorter time frame correlation here between both the tickers, right? So they're both red on the day. It's no problem, right? It's the 4-hour iteration that you're looking at right now. So if I were to be very, very discreet here, we're going to look at both of these right in the 4-hour and kind of mark off what they have to present for us. Remember, guys, let's just go ahead and take a look at the SQQQ real quick. So this is the Ultra Pro short inverse of the NASDAQ. Okay, you guys, so this tells us that anytime that SQQQ is dropping in price, then we have the overall broader markets trending to the upside. So anytime that happens, I mean, go ahead and notice right over here, right, we can add like, for example, the SPY, right? So let's add the SPY right over here, and you can see the clear inverse correlation between both the tickers, right? So this is important, because I'm thinking that if you're a trader who is I don't want to say if it's a little bit taboo for you to short positions, right? So it's considerable to look at the inverse ETFs, right? So like SQQQ for the NASDAQ. You also have the SPXU for the the S&P 500. The VIX has its own, guys. The Dow has its own. A bunch of inverse tickers, even mega caps too, right? Indra actually showed us yesterday that it was actually Destiny that showed us a couple days ago that NVDS, which is the inverse of NVDA for NVIDIA, right? The NVIDIA ticker. So yeah, look at VIRI, man. VIRI absolutely running, right, you guys? So that's still holding off pretty nicely. It met our upside target thus far. So let's go ahead and go back really quick to that GME and AMC and see what they're doing. All right, so they're still continuing to the downside right here. Let's load up a couple tools that can give us a potential edge over the trade, right? So we're gonna load up the RSI and actually both of them, right? So let's just go ahead and make sure that we can keep it as real as we can, as raw as possible, right, you guys? So let me know. What is up, moderator Sebastian Lim? Good to see you here. So go ahead and let me know, you guys, what you guys are trading in the chat. I want to take a look at a couple tickers at least today, right? So please remember that the Fed is going to be speaking at about 2:30 p.m. Eastern today, okay, you guys? So remember, I know that I'm repeating this over and over, but it's very important because this could be single-handedly the most important Fed or FOMC meet that we've had in about 2 years, as there is a high potential that they may start a pause in their rate hike. And I have to tell you that the sentiment right now is at about 90% sure that they will pause. Right, so that's the Fed tool that we have as a indicator, right, in the Fed.gov website. So my goodness, man, my goodness. So Sebastian Lim saying you got out of very, very cool, my dude. Hoping for a small pullback. Yeah, there could be, but I'm still looking at a top side right here at about. Speaking of VIRI, right? So I'm still looking at a top side here. We have a 215 very top resistance for now. Okay, you guys. So remember that is the overall take profit target via this the symmetrical triangle, right? So this pennant was built the way that you get the price objective. It's taking the trend line from the very top side of the triangle, meet it all the way to the bottom side of the triangle, and apply it to the supposed area of breakout. And this is pretty much where we said we would break out, right? We got it right there. Got the breakout candle confirmation, test back to the support, and then continued on to the upside. The price objective per the triangle is leading to $2.15, which just so happens to match the 3-spot 618 golden mean at $2.15. Okay, you guys, so that is looking pretty likely for today. If we are to continue the price action to the upside, man, I mean, you guys already know my overall thesis behind this, right? So as that was a temporary resistance that we were looking at least for the shorter term. Okay, so but now we're looking at this on the 5-day, from which I took the volatility versus momentum back test, and this has an upper bound of the first standard deviation at about 125% to that upside. So this is essentially the target that I'm looking at for the swing players. Okay, so this is about $3.33 to the that's the top side of the statistical move, right, from the firing of the signal, suggesting a whole 125% upper bound. Very likely to see that, to be very honest with you, right? So thus far, the move that we have made to the upside, considering today's price action, is already 39% of the 125 that we're looking at, right? So there is a high potential that VIRI can lead there, but please remember that these targets here are actually my swing targets versus the targets that we were looking at for the shorter term, right over here to that 206, 2-spot 618, right? We've been looking at this for quite some time, even in the videos that we've printed, right, you guys? It's looking very good, and please take a look down here at the very, very highly speculated golden cross confirmation that we have. Okay, so this is likely the reason why the price action continued on to the upside, right? You guys, we said it last week that we would be getting around the 14th or the 15th of June, the golden cross, and it has happened as of market close yesterday, and now we officially got the cross. And take a look at the price action, okay, you guys? So this is very important for us to look at, because oftentimes when we do make a golden cross, which is the SMA 50 crossing over the longer term time frame SMA 200, we can get a serious pullback to test that SMA 50 as a viable area of support before a continuation to the upside. So please remember that that's kind of how things work here. We were already looking at the upside potential based on the cross by itself. Psychologically speaking, we get that cross, bulls are in. Okay, you guys, so as soon as we get that cross and the price action for the day has met, meaning that we got the high of day, very likely there could be a pullback from that zone. Okay, so it is looking good for VIRI. The re-entry zone, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? So daily time frame, we do have a gap here now between the areas of about 191 and about 186. So that's kind of the zone that I would be looking at again to maybe rescale in. Okay, so let's go ahead and now flip over the screens here and take a look at that ticker symbol SONN, as this ticker also met our statistical upside to the penny, you guys. This was absolutely impressive. We were looking at a potential 151% upper bound of the first standard deviation move. We absolutely got that as of the close of the previous bi-daily candle here. Very impressive upside for ticker symbol SONN. I do see here in the immediate short-term time frame that it kind of wants to reload for another run, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at that in the master layout right over here. So let's load up SONN and see what it has for the immediate short-term time frame, as Indra is trying to find out what that is, right? So yeah, moderator Sebastian Lim will go ahead and take a look at that ticker symbol ASST, right? So we were looking at that just yesterday. So sorry guys, it's a little convoluted right here, right? But this is including the statistical move and also the daily price action. This was a play that we put together in the Discord, right? So I know that I actually have to update the Discord link, right? Sebastian Lim, if I can bother you for this, dude, can you copy the invite link from the Discord and paste it here on the chat for the community, just in case? I do have I have actually one of those invite links that are already expired, right? So the way it goes, what's up, man? Arca, you, let's see, you the GOAT, man. Thank you for everything, my bro. Thank you so much. I can promise you, man, that there are more talented traders out there than me, but I promise you that I try my best for retail, dude. I appreciate you coming by. Really stoked to see everybody in, you guys. I'm starting to switch up the schedule. We're looking at the stream starting at hopefully 6 a.m. in the coming days, right, you guys? So right now we got it at 6:40, 6:45. It's all good. And let's go back to the charts right here, you guys. Please take a look at SONN printing on the 8-hour, a very strong shooting star, suggesting a potential a reversal, not a reversal, I would say a pullback, right? So we're finding support from that 4-spot 236 at 56.82. I think that this I mean, if we flashed it to the downside enough, the RSI in the 8-hour is indicating that we could be facing another support to the downside. So if you're looking at loading zones, one of them could be at 56.82. Let's go ahead and look at the shorter time frames though. So now, yeah, SONN on the 4-hour chart, RSI is already at that support right now. We do have a little bit of we have a little bit of a decline here on stochastic momentum. We're decreasing in volatility just a little bit, which is normal when we're facing some very important resistances. Let's draw a line here and see what that was in the first place. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and look at the daily instead, right? So let's pull up the daily on ticker symbol SONN and kind of zoom out here to see if we are touching down on anything interesting historically speaking, right? So there isn't actually anything that we're resisting from, right? So wait, what the heck just happened here? Let's go ahead and go back to the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, so that was in the after hours that we actually got that upside. Very interesting. And that was after hours on Tuesday. Interesting. Very nice price action here, you guys. So this made some, I mean, guys, man, whoever was following this play, huge upside. Every single long range that we were talking about in the play from Discord was absolutely met. I mean, all of it, literally all of it was met, right? And then it continued on to the upside with pennants and all kinds of stuff, right? This is a falling wedge right over here. The price target absolutely met right there. My goodness, man. Huge bull flag here. It looks like it could be printing another bull flag for a continuation to the upside. What I do have to say here is that if you go back to the daily and kind of look at the resistance that we touched in the after hours, go ahead and notice that we have one more zone of resistance. But after this zone here, which could be between the 85.70, I would say 86.75 to the lower area of about 81.21, price action can highly likely continue on to the resistance level of, I would say, just at about 95.49. Man, oh my goodness, to about 92 cents. There, yeah, this is making some serious moves to the upside, and there is a decline in the immediate short term. So let's look at the 30-minute now to see if there could be any other opportunities presented for us that we're not quite looking at just yet, right? So a little bit of consolidation here on the RSI 30-minute period, and it is below the moving average right now. I'm talking about the RSI signal represented by that cyan blue line and the SMA 14 represented by the pink line, right? So whenever that signal line is below the SMA 14, usually we tend to have some bearish price action, right? We want to succeed the upside of the moving average in order for us to validate a potential continuation to the upside. Notice here on the 30-minute MACD, we're starting to get a little bit of a bear pressure coming in, so that opportunity may start loading loading very, very shortly. Okay, you guys. So now let's pull up some moving averages to see what it's got, at least for us to kind of consider, right? So price action currently sitting right at the EMA 21, located at about 59.01. We are very likely to, I don't know if we can actually touch that. If we do get more bearish action, I would personally look for a position long at about 55.12, this ticker, right? If that's even a possibility. But let's back it, right? Let's back that support with an upper time frame. Let's just look to see what rhymes with that, right? So bi-hourly time frame here looks like we're actually meeting that EMA 50, right? So that could be a position where we could consider something, right? This area here on the bi-hourly could be another zone too, very much rhyming with that EMA 55 and also the bottom side of the range. So this could be a total area to look at for potential longs here, okay? But what I do have to say is that invalidating this candle here, so meaning closing bi-hourly candles below the area of 57.70 could introduce a continuation to the downside. So be very careful with what you're looking at here, right? So this area here is another inflection zone, 55.07. Keep it in your notes, okay? Because this is actually the top side of this range here that we faced on Wednesday the 31st, okay? So this was literally a couple weeks back, right? So this is the top side of that area, inflection zone there. There could be a continuation to the downside at about 51.94 upon failure of that critical support, okay? So now you have two critical supports where we can find some type of opportunity for a long position, right? We can long the market within this around that area there, 55.07, 57.48, right? So SONN looking very healthy. I do still see a continuation to the upside, but this is a natural pullback. This could be the new chop zone that we can face before a massive continuation to the upside, okay, you guys? But what I do have to say too is that the statistics already have met that upside, already touched down on our targets and beyond it. Usually when that happens, I'm talking about in the statistics of an upper time frame like the 8-hour and using the upper bound of the first standard deviation top side. Remember, we were looking at a 151% move to the upside. We met it, we overshot it, and now we're pulling back, which is very much normal for what happens when we meet those statistical upsides, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and now go back to the broader markets. Let's see what's going on with the ticker symbol SPY, right? We want to keep an eye on that because, first of all, this is essentially the place that we're looking at. Take a look at the markets right now, you guys. We're absolutely ripping to the upside. We were definitely noticing that possibility, right, you guys? So this is why I opened up short on ticker symbol SQQQ, which I believed to be facing a downside based on the markets feeling so good. We got a good CPI read yesterday. We got that 4%. It was absolutely strong, you guys. That is an indication that the inflation is now cooling off, which could introduce that possibility for the Fed to finally look at maybe a pivot, right? So if that's the case, goodness gracious. All right, so yeah, look at Sebastian Lim, moderator Sebastian, saying that ticker symbol VIRI, one of the plays that we're looking at, is currently pulling back, right? So go ahead and notice right here that we touched right at our resistance that we were looking for, and we got that retracement as well, right, you guys? So I think that this is a little bit temporary. We have a massive support area now on this gap up here for the day at 191. There could be a continuation to the upside. I'm not sure that this is going to mark high of day, right? Let's see, that target of, where's the high? 208 it actually looked at, right? We were talking about a 206 target. It went to 208 and pulled back. So this could be a reaccumulation phase before actually trying to make that top side of the I think it was a 299, right? So that we were looking at, let me see. No, 215, sorry, 215 target per the pennant. So if we do get that pennant top, very likely we can face a very strong pullback from there. Remember that we have been eyeballing that SMA 50 over the SMA 200 golden cross. So we already got that price action gap to the upside as soon as we got this cross. Remember that this cross is significant to the daily time frame. This is the way we're able to tell if market is trending on a bullish manner or bearish manner on the daily. Okay, you guys. So it is a very, very important cross. It's not to say that it's not looked at in the shorter time frames. In fact, they are, right? A lot of traders are basing their trades based on a golden cross, which is the SMA 50 over the SMA 200 in the shorter time frames as well. But when you want an overall broader perspective for the asset or even for the markets, you want to look at the daily time frame. And if you have a golden cross here, you can actually see that the golden cross is being printed by our algorithm right here, the ARC averages indicator, right? So we're getting that golden cross signal. We definitely printed it just yesterday at market close, and price action, just like we expected, continued on to the upside. I'm still looking at a potential target. You already know my target, man, but that pullback is natural. Still looking at that top side of about 215. Keep your eyes on that, right? COSM also facing a pullback from the area that we were looking at just yesterday. So we're looking at a pullback from 346 here, which is literally right at the mean of the Gaussian channel. This is a statistical indicator, right? So as soon as we start breaking upside of that 346 and start closing candles right here, at least a 4-hour, minimum 4-hour candle closures above that area of about 346, we can highly likely continue on to the upside. Some ebb and flow here, particular resistance between 376 and 380, right? But I'd see the top side target here being faced next week to around 393. But still, there is a 200% move to the upside looked at on this ticker. So all the broader markets moving to the upside right now can only help all this, right, you guys? So we're already getting a high of day of 438.09. Very impressive upside on the SPY, you guys. So this is absolutely looking very healthy. That could be an indication over how the sentiment is feeling, right? Remember, I told you guys about what? 90% on that Fed tool is saying that the market is, the overall sentiment is feeling like the Fed is going to pause. My goodness. If they pause, you guys, we are going to rip. We are gonna rip. Okay, so that's gonna really put some serious pressure on short sellers on a lot of stocks. Okay, you guys, so let me go ahead and go back to that ticker symbol SQQQ, where we actually have that position short, right, you guys? So we are absolutely in the money, probably 16% on the day. We're looking at 2004, looking very, very healthy, right, you guys? So this is indicative of a expanding market towards that upside, right? I love it, you guys. Good to be streaming here today, but please be careful. If you are, I'm talking about a beginner trader, consider maybe observing what the markets are doing today and also on Friday, as we do have a quadruple witching, right? So all of these days are absolutely gonna just literally dumpster fire. Right, so we have to be careful with our positions. We have to know that there's going to be an increased amount of volatility for these days, right? But I'm actually trying to open up my broker right here just to make sure that everything is looking good, that everything is looking cool for the trade, right? I don't want to ignore my own positions because we're looking at the broader markets over here. Come on, Arca, get your stuff together, right? Yep, it's looking like we are absolutely in the money. There's another ticker here that I know some people were in long from the Discord members, right? And that was ticker symbol RCRT. So let's go ahead and pull that up just for a little bit and take a look at the position on that. So now, so that was Sebastian Lim calling that out. Let's see. Had to join the Discord. My dude, thank you so much for joining. I love it, man. A lot of times people talking, and there's some very interesting and also intelligent people within that, right? So Bad R, what is up, man? Saying hello, Arca. Buenos dias, all. Let's see. Greetings from Amsterdam, Netherlands, man. Very good to have you here, my brother. Absolutely excited to be streaming on these normal hours during intraday, right, as it is very important. So now, Arca, does AMC have a chance to rip upwards? Well, let's go ahead and pull up that ticker that we were looking at, right? So AMC versus GME here, does it have a chance, is a very particular question. So now, because you're asking me that, I would really like to see this on my master layout. So let's go ahead and pull up AMC here, and just so you're clear, I forget to look at my position for AMC, as I've had it open since literally August 2021. Right, so that position is just sitting right there forever. Critical support right here at that 488, but you are talking about a more broader outlook. Snowdrifter, good to see you here, my bro. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at a broader outlook here for ticker symbol AMC and see if there could be a chance for an upside. Right, here's what I can tell you is that as long as the markets are suggesting that upside, and we absolutely have that buy pressure, like for example what's going to happen with the Fed today, like just give it the example. If they say that we're going to pause the rate hike, Oh man, the broader markets can rip so hard that it'll literally force other tickers under the sun. I mean, literally everything under the sun could be pushed to the upside, right? Of course, we're gonna have the one-offs right there suggesting that downside, but I just want you to look at it in that perspective, right? So in this case, we're gonna look at volatility versus momentum starting from the 30-minute time frame to get a broader perspective, believe it or not. Okay, so we want to see a downside first in the 30 minutes. So this is absolutely what we want. We're looking at critical volatility right now suggesting more power to the bears, which is definitely a reaccumulation zone. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the hourly time frame. We still want a downside. Okay, so good, we have that downside still. In fact, we're increasing volatility right now. The bears are about to be actually the bears are penetrating the moving average on the RVol, which is relative volume, right? So this is very likely to continue ever so slightly to the downside. I am thinking that we could face one more zone to the downside, which could be at about 484, if not already faced from the support at 488. Now let's go to the bi-hourly into the 4-hour and see if we have any potential buildup here for a potential rip to the upside, right? So in fact, the RSI bi-hourly still giving us a downside here. We're right at the MACD signal with the first red bar printed. Okay, so this could be still a little bearish for the immediate short term. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour and see what else AMC's got to say, right? So 4-hour time frame. Come on, let's go ahead and load that up. Here we go. So 4-hour time frame is suggesting a downside too. I was expecting a potential upside from this time frame, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's over for the asset. It only means that it's reaccumulating once again. So now we have to also pay attention to the candles now at the 4-hour, right? So the opening of this candle here is 507, and you're looking at the close of this candle here being 507. We have a bearish railway track. This could lead the price action to a downside, but notice the overall ebb and flow, right? So we're going up, we capitulate, right? Up, we capitulate. So that natural movement is kind of happening, but let's see if we're resisting from any moving averages. Right now, this is the clear resistance on the 4-hour. The reason why we're getting that downside, SMA 200, right at perfectly at that opening, right? You guys, we have a tweezer top here on these candles. We're finding that support at the SMA 10. If we do find that support and continue to the upside here, very likely the stochastic momentum indicator could actually correct towards the upside on the 4-hour time frame, thus suggesting a continuation to the upside. So now here's another little trade secret, right? We're actually waiting for the RSI to find a support from the SMA 14. You're looking at this like Arca. Actually, the signal line is below the SMA 14. What do you mean by that? Upper time frames, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the 6-hour and 8-hour to see if we have support from that SMA 14 with the signal line above it. Okay, so let's see what the 6-hour has to say on the RSI. So let's see. Print it. Let's go. Here we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about, you guys. Please notice here that we're currently finding support from that SMA 14 on the 6-hour RSI, right? We want to get this area touched because this is the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone, right? So if we get that gravitational zone, we absolutely can pivot towards the upside, thus finding a support just like these prior iterations, right? So if that's the case, the downside could be very limited for the immediate short term before a continuation to the upside. Now let's look at it in an even broader perspective. Okay, so now I'm going to make this a larger screen so that we can see what the true potentials are away from the short term. Okay, so let's see. Let's bring this into the daily time frame. Remember that I was covering this a few months ago, right? Just for the team, right? So let's see. Wow. Okay, so this is one of the largest channels that I've seen, or it could be a huge broadening descending wedge, and I'm going to show you how I'm kind of drawing that, right? So just like it's actually following the broader markets too. It's very similar to all of these indices, right? It happens like that, right, you guys? So this is essentially what I'm kind of looking at, right? Overall picture here. Please remember, it's just the overall picture. Daily time frame moving averages are very important, so let's go ahead and pull them up, especially when we're getting this broader market sentiment changing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and block the visibility here from the EMAs, and actually, you know what? I'm going to keep the EMA 21 and 55 open. I don't want to see the rest of the EMAs for sure, and I definitely want to see the 200 and the 100 and the 50 at least, right? So let's see what that has in store for us. Okay, so the SMA 50 compared to the SMA 100 is kind of far away, but what I am noticing here on the daily, it's starting to get into the larger term time frame. Okay, first of all, notice right over here that we actually got our first tick of red candle here above the moving average from the volume, right? So this is a very good indication that there could be a continuation to the upside, and this is a natural pullback. What I was going to say is that we're starting to converge these two moving averages. This is the EMA 21, this is the EMA 55. As soon as these two get together and the shorter time frame one crosses over, that is a very bullish thing to look at. In fact, we already got that cross, right? So it's right over here. This is the silver cross you're looking at. My apologies, we're looking at the EMA 21 as the first moving average, as colored in yellow. No, wait, what's going on here? Okay, so this one's flipped. Oh, I never changed my algo. I'm sorry, you guys. So yeah, 21 exponential moving average should be colored in yellow. This is the importance of marking our colors, you guys. And now you know for a fact that there could be serious mistakes looked at. I thought that the cross was done there. No, when the cross of the 21 goes below the 55, very bearish to look at. So now notice the converging of the moving averages again. If we are able to converge and create that first silver cross, that's the little brother from the golden cross, which could be next with the SMA 50 over the 200, right? So now if it is the fact that we are kind of breaking out, or we're going to suggest a potential breakout, let's count our iterations of resistance from the broader term time frame, right? So we have test arguably, no, this could be test 1, 2, 3. We have that test number 4 with a capitulation, and the next test would actually be the true breakout, right? So if we do get, like I said, a continuation of broader market sentiment with positivity, we can absolutely look at a touch of about 671 in the coming weeks. Okay, you guys. So I mean, it's present, it's there. I'm liking it. The moving averages are starting to suggest a nice price action. In fact, we are up for the last couple weeks here, a few weeks, right? So we are up presently at about 18%. So this is a nice reaccumulation area, right, you guys? It looks like it's going to be printing another little inverse herpy-derpy, right? That's going to be your inverse head and shoulders. It looks like it's actually prepping for one right now. But we'll go ahead and keep an eye on this, you guys. A lot of people ask me about AMC. I try my best to cover it, although I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm still holding it, right? Apes together strong, brother. All right, so Arca is still holding on the position right there, you guys. Let's go ahead and refer back to the broader markets and see what's going on. First of all, SONN, let me just see what's going on. Oh my goodness, man. SONN still ripping to the upside. What's going on with VIRI? Let's see what VIRI is doing, right? Still holding that $2. My goodness, man. This is absolutely bullish. Crazy times over here, you guys. So now another thing that we should also keep a look at is the SPY, right? So let me know what you guys are trading in the chat, guys. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. Sorry that I have not been following up with all the chat right now, you guys, but let's go ahead and see that now, right? I'm going to switch over the screen here to kind of load the SPY. Man, look at that. We're right at that we're right at that 438 again. Oh my goodness. 438.02. Guys, this is absolutely looking awesome. My position on the SQQQ is looking very good. I am absolutely up on the day. So this is let me see. I already have everything kind of loaded in. I'm talking about take profit, stop loss. Everything is already in play, right? You guys looking awesome. My goodness, I love it. Bull markets, you guys, if that's going to be introduced in the shorter term time frame, man, it is going to be increasingly easier for us to look at potential upsides, right, you guys? So yeah, let me go back to the chat right over here and see what we have as it's a little, you know what, I'm going to zoom into this because what's going on here, man? Arca can't see nothing. All right. So let's see. Let's go back to Sebastian Lin, ASST, right? I still have to pull that up, right? So now Berenson Ultra is saying, is there any chance AMC rips to the upside today? Today is a significant question. All right, so I don't see this actually ripping today as we were looking at that 4-hour setup. Not quite there just yet, right? So if in fact the high of day may have already been printed at that, the high of day may have already been printed on that, let's see, where was it? Right at about 508. If we're going to get that support touch, very likely we're going to touch the previous day's high, right? So that could be at that 515 or the pre-market high. I don't see us moving beneath that area, but one thing that you should know is that AMC and GME are super psychologically impaired and can invalidate any type of technical analysis, right? So as we have seen historically, that these tickers are notorious for showing up the chart readers, right? Just like GTII, just like COSM, very difficult assets to train, right? So Bad R saying hello, Arca. Yeah, we already said hi to that one. Hello, my brother. So let's see, does AMC have a chance to rip upwards? Okay, so I already got that one too. AMC will have some consolidation today, in my opinion. Same here, man. I really do think that it could be facing a little bit of consolidation before it continues to the upside. A lot of things are going to consolidate until we actually get that validation from the Fed at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, right? So as soon as they say we're not gonna, I mean, if they do say it, right? So if he says we're not gonna rate hike, ooh, my God, you guys, long the, I mean, I'm sorry, short the SQQQ, long the TQQQ, get the SPY calls, because my goodness, man, we're gonna rip. Not financial advice. Let's go ahead and move on right here. So JD Nettles saying, after 3 years of this BS, I did awesome on VIRI today. Thank you, Arca, for your work, my bro. That is so awesome to hear, my brother. I'm very excited for you. A lot of people got long that ticker. A lot of people got long SONN and a few others that we've been talking about as daily movers in the Discord plays, right? So, and let's see. Sebastian Lim saying, Arca, can we look at SECO? Of course we can, my brother. Let me go ahead and pull it up and take a look at I'm sorry, you said Arca, SECO. Feel like there's more to this ticker. Statistical move in play. All right, so SECO. You guys, I have actually handed over a lot of, I mean, I'm talking about a real big trust right here over to Sebastian Lim, which is my moderator here. He is also now one of the analysts in the Arca Bulls Discord, right? So this guy has been calling shots after shots, right? So he tells me, Arca, check out this ticker, and man, there it goes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the immediate short-term time frame for this play, right? We want to see hold on just a sec. Let me just come back right over here on this one. I'm going to leave this as the SPY, and I'm going to go ahead and go and look at the master layout instead, right? So let me pull up a master layout here, and now we will we'll load that ticker. SECO, right? Fantastic. TA on AMC says, Lion of all trades, my brother, thank you so much for watching. I hope that I was able to help at least a little bit, right? But I have expressed my deepest opinions on this in the past, and a lot of people seem to like it, but really, guys, I'm really not one of those that's going to spread hopium, right? As I do call it as it is, because that's the best way to look at, man. I didn't work all this time to actually read the markets and only use psychological implementation for price action, right? In other words, manipulation. That is not what we do here, you guys. We are traders. We are not gamblers, okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and load up SECO now and see what it's got cooking under the hood. Okay, so SECO, man, it is absolutely up on the day already. It has made a top side of 118, retracement back to that 107, highly likely a moving average retracement. There you go. So we have that support from the EMA. Let me make sure that we actually colored this one correctly this time. My goodness, man, we're going to learn our lesson the right way, man, by not keeping consistency here on our on our EMA colors or the SMA colors, right? Display custom EMA. We have the 21 over the 55. The 21 should be yellow. 55 should be orange. We have that right there. Okay, you guys, look at this. The moving averages are just like all these other tickers. We're starting to converge. Those two moving averages, we may face a silver cross here from SECO when the yellow line crosses above the orange line. And in this case, notice how they're both pivoted towards the upside. When you have a moving average strategy cross to the upside, when an upside pivoted towards the upside, that actually becomes a stronger moving average strategy, and it does suggest a continuation to the upside. Okay, you guys, so that's very, very strong for you guys to kind of consider here. We have looked at SECO before. We did notice that we were in some type of channel on the daily time frame. It looks like we're getting that very rare breakout, actually. So this is it's breaking out. It never actually validated the bottom side, so this I mean, the formation could have not been it, right? So let's go ahead and see what the potentials are here, because notice here on the daily time frame, volatility versus momentum profile absolutely suggesting a continuation to the upside in an aggressive manner. Volume is actually increasing on that daily. We have that upside validation, and it's approaching the gravitational zone of the bearish control zone. Okay, you guys, so this is very likely to find an upside continuation, but let's see it from the 4-hour. The 4-hour time frame is very important to me. Okay, you guys, it does not have to be to you. Now go ahead and notice here on the 4-hour time frame, we absolutely have the contraction to expansion, upside pivot on the moving average, and the volatility component. We have that upside in the bullish control zone here from the EMA 3 and the SMA 14 of stochastic momentum, looking good. Okay, you guys, so this is absolutely what we want to see. The 4-hour time frame will likely bleed into the 6-hour. So the 6-hour, let's see what it has. Hopefully we have that upside in there already. Okay, so we're looking at Stokes versus volatility. Upside on the 6-hour, highly likely this ticker will continue to the upside, you guys. So this is actually finding resistance right now. It's fine. It actually came just shy of that SMA 200 on the 6-hour. Okay, so let's see the 8-hour volatility versus momentum. And notice here again, you guys, we have that upside on the 8-hour. This, I mean, then also it's crossed above the moving average on the 8-hour. Guys, this is very powerful. So Sebastian Lim, I hope you're already long this ticker. My goodness, man, this is absolutely suggesting a continuation to the upside, and this is very powerful as I don't see this being done. You know, another way that we can see the potential targets are actually from the Gaussian channel. Now that we're in the 8-hour, right? So you don't want to use the Gaussian channel on anything less than the 8-hour time frame, right, you guys? So, oh, this, yes. This is why the retracement. Notice on the 8-hour time frame, guys, we are breaking out of the Gaussian channel. We're coming back to validate that support. Very likely another loading zone within that area of about 105 to, I would say, actually the range is, you're within the range. 110 to about 106 or 105 is that long range. So upon the validation of this, right, so we're looking at 1 hour and 28 minutes to close this candle here. If this candle, this 8-hour candle, closes above the range of 105, that can be considered a bullish statement for the ticker symbol SECO and a validator for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so if there is any opportunity to long this ticker, you know now the targets, right? So that is very, very interesting. So now let me see what the 12-hour Gaussian channel says. 12-hour Gaussian channel. Let's see. There we go. Look at this. The 8-hour Gaussian channel finding support from the mean and resistance from the top side. Oof. All right. So I don't see a downside. I don't see this coming back to the mean at 94 cents. I think that's pretty much long gone for now. And yeah, so the look at this. This is perfectly right in between these two 12-hour candles is that 106 that we're looking for. Okay, so 106, 105 could be a very strong area for loading, right? This is the top side of this candle here. Literally, you can see it on the H right up here on the values, right? The OHLC. Notice that has 105 top, right? So that's another, I mean, guys, it's, yeah, you're within the range right now. I personally am illiquid, so I'm actually pretty extended. I'm super extended at the SQQQ right now, right? So I'm betting against the markets. I'm sorry, I'm betting with the markets by shorting the SQQQ. So everything is looking good. SECO very likely to continue on to the upside, guys. I absolutely like this setup. In fact, we're going to go ahead and add it into the tickers, right? So this could be, I'm going to think about it, man. I'm going to think about putting together a play for tomorrow, but I do have to be honest, man. It's just within these days of high volatility, I'm very much afraid to actually present any more danger to retail, especially my beginner traders, right, man? So we want to make sure to keep the community as safe as possible and also suggest a trade, paper trading, right? So other than that, we want to make sure that we're not just trading any days, right? In fact, these are the most important days that the market can actually look at thus far. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker symbol WETG, as a lot of people have been talking about that this morning. I think it did make some pretty exponential moves to the upside. So let's go ahead and load that. Check it out, you guys. Huge upside runner right now. What is that percentage on the day? Let's go ahead and see that daily candle oh my goodness, it was a gap up, and take a look at the resistance that it's facing. It's trying to regain the inside of the Gaussian channel on the daily time frame. If we're starting to knock on that door, then actually support right now would actually be relevant to 1579. I'm not even saying that this can actually go back down to that area here, because there could be a clear overextension in every time frame. We're almost at overbought on the 4-hour, but it's still suggesting an upside in critical volatility. Look at the RSI. Look at the RSI on the 4-hour. Huge overextension. In fact, we are at resistance already. In fact, there could be a little bit further higher, but I do believe that this could, this is FOMO right here at its best, you guys. So if there is a pullback to be looked at, it would honestly happen within this zone here. As historically speaking, this is the highest that the RSI on the 4-hour has seen. Let's see the daily RSI. Let's see how far up there is. Okay, okay, this is interesting. Okay, take a look at this. Okay, so there is a very clear sign of regression here, and I'm not sure if it's gonna actually respect that regression. So what I'm looking at is essentially this right over here, right? So just like that, it could already be trying to break out of this. It is in the bullish control zone, but usually when we do get a breakout of a regression like this, oftentimes it tends to come back, right, you guys? But that's not to say that it's going to capitulate, because there are other times to where we just kind of break out of it, and then we try for it again and again and again, right? So I mean, this is a clear indication of regression on both, literally on both sides, right? Very curious, as this could be building a wedge in the RSI. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that price action and see what it's got, right? So very curious upside here. John Smith, we'll go ahead and take a look at COEP as well, my brother. So let's go ahead and look at Michael Dixon is saying traded VIRI all week, up and down. Then of course there's always the safest play in town. I short Mullen every day up on, let's see, every day up on a 10% just today, and no longer holding everything overnight. Yes, I completely agree, man. The strategies as a day trader, that would actually be one of the rules that I implemented, right? So unless I specifically decide that it is a swing play, then I will not trade it or hold it overnight, right? Right now, I am holding SQQQ overnight, as I do believe that there could be a serious run to the upside on the broader markets. First of all, we're still holding that 438. We're at 437.92, looking very nice. Okay, you guys, so let's go back to ticker symbol WETG and see what else it's got, and then I'll come back to look at the chat once again. Okay, you guys, so immediate short-term time frame, we want to see that 4-hour. The 4-hour, right, we said that it still has a little bit of that upside still left to go. The 6-hour and 8-hour, very likely with an upside pivot. And okay, 6-hour time frame already retracing on the RSI. If there is a time frame to look at for a potential reversal here, then that would be the 6 or the 8-hour. Okay, so that's in respects. It's only the 6-hour, by the way. Really interesting. Let me see the 12-hour time frame. Yeah, how is that even possible? Very interesting price action here. We're barely getting the first uptick here on the buy daily RSI. Barely getting the first uptick, right? So, oh man, this thing could still rip to the upside. In fact, if we're looking at, let's see, where do we have critical volatility? We can look at a target by putting up the reversion variant, and that could be here on the 12-hour. Let me see where that reversion is landing, right? We could be in the middle of a mean reversion, right? So let's go ahead and pull that up and see we're way above that. So let's see the buy daily time frame mean reversion and see what we have. In fact, the mean would be located back to 1142. We're at the resistance of the Bollinger Bands on the buy daily. Very nice price action. Actually, everything's being respected like traditional stocks, like I'm talking top tier stocks would respect, right? So this actually, that makes me curious over the cap. So the capitalization on this is actually pretty small, right? Almost a 9 million, and we don't even know what the float is on this, right? So a lot of the times that can present some high risk, and seeing the fact that we are at resistance right now, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, right? I'm not sure about this just yet, but there could be a retracement back to that 1144. And that would be the buy daily time frame, so it could take a few days to get to that, okay? Because we are getting up. Why is it even up, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, no. 5 days ago, nothing relevant, right? We got to reverse. Oh, man. Yeah, there was a... There was it 1 to 185, and we're getting an upside on this. Is trying to actually make a black swan. Oh my goodness! So that ratio is pretty large. I mean, I've seen bigger, right? But still, damn it. And $17 asset. I mean, not bad, man. DJ, what's up, my bro? Good to see you here. So let's go ahead and go back to the chat and take a look at this. But guys, remember, WETG, I'm still looking at a potential retracement here. And a lot of the times when FOMO appears like this, right? That becomes a little harder to read. And one more thing we can do is actually look at the averages here. I mean, we could find a support. We could find a support from that EMA 21 located right at about 1677, but that would present, it's literally on its way to that right now, right? So there could be a bounce from this moving average here, but I'm not sure that the bounce would actually lead to further than that 2031, right? So it's about to touch on that support level right there. Very likely for it to bounce in the short term. If we start failing the EMA 21, meaning that if we can close some candles below 1659, then I would start expressing concern over here and looking at the target of about 1146. Oftentimes, that's kind of what happens, guys. We get that top side resistance touch of the Bollinger Bands representing volatility. Then we actually have to come back and validate the mean before another touch of the resistance. Right, you guys, keep your eyes on WETG. I know it already made its upside move for today. In fact, I mean, I'm not going to say this safely, but, you know, the topside target here of 2348 could very well or very likely be high of day. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and now refer back to the chat and see what else is going on, right, you guys? So Michael, let's see, John Smith, though, he was saying COEP was one to look at, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and load it up. COEP was another one that I covered for a while, right? I did perform a few back tests on it as well, and let's see. So, oh, nice. That's a lot of things happening right there, right? So huge wick. This is presenting a very high quality hammer on that 12-hour iteration, right? Notice that the volume right now, we are clearly above the volume moving average with an upside pivot on stochastics and increasing volatility. 12-hour cross above that SMA 14 and decreasing bear pressure on the MACD, looking very nice. And if there could be a pullback here, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the immediate short-term time frame to see what that could be. Okay, so look at this, 30-minute already at the top side of the Bollinger Bands. It's saying that the mean could be located at about 153, and that usually happens when we are at critical expansion. When we start to contract, that's usually when the mean reversion happens. Notice here that the 30-minute stochastic momentum is approaching the overbought percentile, right up here. So that becomes a little higher and higher likely, or a higher and higher probability that we can retrace. Keep your eyes on COEP as there could be a potential entry here. I know this is a bit far away, 153, right? But let's go ahead and continue on the analysis. Let's see what the hourly has to say. Hourly time frame still has that upside, highly likely the bi-hourly into the 4-hour too. Let's see the 4-hour. 4-hour has that oh man, look at this. Volatility crossing the moving average, suggesting an increase of volume traded, right? This is very nice. This could, I mean, if it does have a more juice to go, this could top out at 191 today before a potential reversion. A huge tweezer bottom on that 4-hour iteration too. Let's look at the 6-hour time frame and see what else we have, right? Upside on the stochastic momentum, and we do have that resistance touch. So guys, I'm gonna say to maybe hold off getting long this ticker until we get a pullback at least to the areas of about 153 to 167 for validation, as this is likely to mean revert as it is overextended for the day. I'm not saying that it's already high of day at that 181. In fact, I'm still suggesting into the 190s for a high of day, right? So if we're going to get that move, it's probably going to happen around 10:30 a.m. when the algos shift for the broader markets, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and now take a look at another ticker here and see what else everyone else is talking about, right? So let's see. Man, I can't ignore this anymore. Let's go ahead and take a look at moderator Sebastian Lim. He's saying ASST is ripping. Let's see what it's got. Man, all right. Look at this, man. It is absolutely up on the day. Let me pull up the daily chart here and see what it's got. Man, it's way above the Bollinger Band's super expansion right now. It's way expanded. It's suggesting a downside actually. So this could be overextended already. Nice move to the upside. Let's see the moving averages. Do we have anything relevant for us there to look at? Yes, man, actually we very much do. So take a look at the yellow crossing above the orange. This is a silver cross, you guys. So the silver cross is suggesting a continuation to the upside, and that is likely why. But also remember that when we do get these very bullish crosses, oftentimes we'll make that upside to the next relevant area of resistance. Then we can pull back to test the moving average as an area of support, which just so happens to be near the mean of the daily reversion variance. Okay, so that could be anywhere between the area of about 120 to about 132, and that could be faced potentially in the next day. Okay, as this is this is a lot of price action, guys. This is FOMO. This is FOMO at its best. Huge gap up, right? So I'm liking it. It's just that I think that we could possibly gain position long on this in a better valuation. Okay, so never rush into these stocks. There could be a potential retracement, right? Also, the fact that it's $2.17, this kind of begs to look at the market capitalization, right? So you're looking at a very small 30.46 million cap with a float of about a tiny 3 million. Okay, you guys, so that is very, very small. It presents a high risk but high volatility too, right? So this can be a serious gainer, and it could also be a serious loser too. Why is it moving on the day though? Let's see. So about 1 hour ago, Reuters says, let's see, Asset Entities gets a hole in one, reaching pivotal agreement with championship golfer Bryson. I don't even know how to pronounce that right, on the heels of the announcement of the PGA LIV merger, right? So this is likely why this is actually continuing on to the upside, right? So there is a merger in line. If the merger is actually that bullish, I don't know anything fundamentally about the asset, but if that merger was something of a long wait, price action is very likely to continue on to the upside, right? So this is Asset Entities Inc. If you were interested in keeping an eye on it, ticker symbol ASST, right? So huge upside here. I still want to see a retracement back. We very well could have seen high of day at about 235, 234. It's no problem, guys. That's just how the markets happen, right? So let's go ahead and go back to the chat and see what's going down, right? So ticker symbol S. John Smith is saying ticker symbol GREE, 20% up on the day. My goodness. Let's see. That is a Greenhouse Generation. I forgot what it was. Was it an NYSE ticker? Oh my goodness. Check this out. In fact, this still has some room to go. Expect a retracement from 241 to about 252. Okay, so this is already converting the daily SMA into a support. Okay, so this very likely to continue on to the upside for ever so slightly though. Okay, if it is going to move all the way to the upside, I'm talking about, it's very rare for us to see that, for it to actually combat the mean and beat the mean, right? So we're looking at a high of day potential of about 253 to about 242, and we are approaching that in high velocity, right? So this is increasing volatility, incredible upside on the RSI as well. This is crazy. My goodness, man. If you are long this, John Smith Doe, I hope you are, man, because this is a woo. This is making some serious moves. Here it goes, you guys. We're right at that 243 level. We're facing the resistance at 253. Potential pullback from that zone, right? If it does want to make the move, continuation to the upside, very likely we can touch the zone of about 356. It's not all the time that happens, right? So this is another one. I think it has news today too. Let's see. So, no, May 15th. That's the last time that this thing released anything. Why is it actually pumping this hard? Oh my goodness. The volume today is already at almost 1 million. So now the volume from yesterday, 280,000, 227,000, 243,000. This coming in at almost 1 million in volume is quite impressive. Here's the pullback that we're talking about, guys, right from that top side, right? A little bit over that 253, 265 top, but that's usually what happens, guys. It doesn't always beat the mean. I'm not saying that it's not gonna. I'm just saying that it could be. Okay, so I mean, oftentimes this is what happens. We get the retracement right from the mean or the moving average relevant to that. Then price action comes back to validate the next or the previous moving average that we crossed, right? So very, very strong price action on ticker symbol GREE. My goodness, this could be a whole other play to look at. Let me see how the 4-hour volatility is looking compared to, I mean, it's barely getting the tick to the upside. This actually would have been a very nice play to get in today. Man, oh man, this is absolutely nice. So the 4-hour Bollinger Bands are not standing a chance right here, right? So now as you jump in the 12-hour, that is very likely, actually the 8-hour, sorry, is very likely how we're facing that resistance too. It was located at 247. We were looking at that potential retracement from 247 to 253. So yeah, you guys, this could be reloading right now. There could be a retracement back. It could be a little slow, right? But we're looking at a potential 198 and 198. That would be a pretty nice area to get long this ticker for a continuation of volatility towards the upside. Very good call on this one, John Smith. Let's go ahead and add this one into the list. We'll go ahead and continue seeing what the probabilities are within this, right? So ticker symbol GREE. Very, very nice, impressive move to the upside today. If you did long this, my brother, congratulations to you. Let's go ahead and, man, so you're in at 109 on what? So ASST pump, and let's go. Let's see what it's doing, man. No way. It already went up. My goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, good. Yeah, man. Jeez Louise, man. It went up to 232. This is incredible price action for this, man. Nice. Nice. I absolutely love it. We're at resistance right now. We're getting all kinds of sell signals too. So, I mean, the reversion variant is like, bro, I'm overheating. Let me cool off just a little bit. We need to go back down for just I need to take a breather, right? So this is very impressive price action here. We have the 8-hour right now, RSI actually starting to make its upside cross above the SMA 14. Very, very bullish cross right there, you guys. I love what I'm looking at here. This is definitely making that move, right? So averages, let's see what they got for a silver cross located right back here, right? I love it. I love everything about it, man. Everything about it. I love it. So good call on this one, Sebastian Lim, ASST, ripping to the upside yet again, proving yourself worthy for that analyst position, right, my brother? So let's go ahead and take a look at John Smith saying CALC guys, if I actually have missed your ticker, please let me know. Let me know, right? As I'm trying to actually move down this list. Yes, I'm trying to move down this list as effective as possible, right? So yeah, let's go. We're gonna take a look at MTTR as well. So let me look at that ticker symbol CALC and see what it's got, right? So calc. And that is a NASDAQ ticker, right? So that is, this was IPO. Oh my goodness, man. So let's see 859 halted. It already halted. So this is something different. It says it's an OTC stock, but it says this on Yahoo Finance, new listing calc on the NASDAQ fund, network effective June 14th. Yeah. So I wonder if this was actually a different ticker before this. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this whatsoever. So we have to pull up some micro time frames here to see what it's even doing. So it's gapping down, right? Very likely for this to, oftentimes these IPOs tend to come back to reaccumulate at around or near where it started before making a freaking ripper to the upside, right? Don't follow that as advice, guys. In fact, there's nothing I can read here. Please notice that all of the indicators that we're looking at are empty. The only thing that we have right now is the forward-looking price action and volume, right? So we have an increase of volume. Of course, that's normal, but I would express deep concern when trading something that you don't have too much information over, right? Here's the downside that we're looking for: potential retracement to the area of about $6. Of course, we have a relevant support at 624 literally a minute gap here. So if it does fail, if it does close a minute candle above below the 625 area, highly likely for this to pull back to that $6 zone, and then this can actually face a continuation to the upside on the 1 minute to eventually face resistance from what's finally starting to print is the SMA 10 on that minute. Okay, so there could be a retracement. There we go. Okay, so we got, it faced a support right at that 625. Retracement is going to be found at the SMA 10 at that 672. Keep an eye on that retracement back on this. But yeah, it is very interesting that it's being listed as a NASDAQ ticker when it's an OTC. So, $6.40. This is crazy. And in fact, we're looking at a tiny little market cap here, 36 million, and the float is literally 1.8 mil. So the high risk on this, right? So still, remember, I'm still looking at that downside at about $6, right? Right at that tiny little candle right over here. We'll keep an eye on it, man, if it actually becomes relevant, right? So let's go ahead and move down let's see. So we trade, right, man, that one made a move, right? Launch large-scale language processing models to increase product application in the field of artificial intelligence. Who is not trying to dip their feet into that, right? So that is ticker symbol WE. And I'm sorry, what ticker was that? We trade, right? WETG, right? That was the one that we were looking at already. Good deal, good deal. All right, so SONN pop out. Oh, it actually did? Let's nice. I wanna see where did I have it? I can actually load it up right in here, right? So let me see SONN on the daily chart. See what it's got, right? Wow, nice. Nice. SONN still trying to combat that previous day high. That's going to be likely resistance, guys. 67 is probably going to be the high of day, if not already faced. We faced a resistance right at the opening of this candle here, and I mean it's looking mighty positive. It's not this is no joke. It's actually making a pretty nice move right here. Remember, we're looking at that daily silver cross right over here, right? So very impressive move to the upside with that silver cross. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here. Snowdrifter saying, got to run, crazy workday. Before I got a final thoughts on VIRI for today. Oh man, so Snowdrifter, I don't know if you're still here, my brother, but that we met the high of day, right? So I mean, specifically speaking about that target that we were looking for between the area of about 198. So if you come back to see this, right, it's going to be here for you. So yeah, we were looking at that retracement level from about that 206, which was rhyming with a lot of geometrical targets, right? So we're getting that retracement. This is not the end of it. Very likely going to come back to the area of about 189 to test that support of the 2-spot 618 golden mean. Okay, so now if there are averages located within that area, I'd be surprised. And all right, there isn't. Okay, so that's good. If there is going to be another test of a further downside, then that would be in the range of about, I'd say, 180 to around 177. But I'm not sure that we're liquid enough to bring the price action back down to that area just yet, as we did recently get that SMA crossover, right? The golden cross. So very still in my radar. I'm still actually very bullish the asset. In fact, this is the pullback that I was talking about for position entry, right? So it's happening now. It's looking very good. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on the chat here. So SONN, a top AI play, slowly stair-stepping up. No way. Let's take a gander at it and see what we have, right? So that's going to be ticker symbol SONN. That was one ticker that we actually looked at a few weeks ago, maybe a month. So yeah, the daily time frame. Let's see what it's got. Man, yeah, it feels like it's, yeah, this was, oh, I see it. Okay, I see it. Let me show you what's going down too, right? So this was actually the falling wedge right over here, right? Just like this. And this is actually the breakout of it. We broke out of the wedge. We came back and validated the support as, well, newly converted resistance, right? We're resisting, and then resisting here, breakout. Then we're testing that newly converted support and continuing on to the upside. Let's see if it's actually met the top side target. You take a trend line from that top side of the triangle to the bottom side of the triangle, apply it to the breakout zone, and that would give you the price objective. So the price objective still has not met, and that is potentially about $3.68. The daily time frame, stochastic momentum versus volatility, is supporting that move. And actually, the daily time frame RSI looks like it's just pivoted ever so slightly to the downside. Support to be found at that SMA 14. So if we're looking at the price action here, that could be relevant to either a previous support or resistance, or a moving average, and this is the higher likelihood is landing within the moving average. So we already got the gold. I mean, there's a lot of moving averages up here. I'm sorry, you guys, but this is the label for the golden cross, and we already got that, right? So you know what? I'm gonna clean it. I need to show you this. Damn it. I need to get everything out of the way. In fact, the silver cross already happened as well right over here. So we're getting both of the crosses now looking very good. So we already saw the EMA cross. Let me get rid of the SMA 10 and the SMA 100, as all we need to see is the SMA 50 and 200. This is the golden cross right over here, right? Price action leads to the upside, then the retracement back to validate that SMA 50 as a support before a continuation onto the upside. If we're going to get another touch of the SMA 50, so be it. It's no problem. We can actually see if there could be a more relevant touch with that SMA 10, and it looks like there could be. Okay, this is the conversion of the SMA 10 from resistance into support, so we could be loading up at about the space of 290, a range now, okay, 290 to about 274 before this continues on to the upside, just like you're talking about, brother. Stair-stepping its way onwards and upwards. I absolutely like the setup. This is definitely suggesting a continuation to that upside, right? 4-hour time frame is something that we want to look at too. Let's see if we have that upside yet. It could be retracement, right? Okay, so yeah, it's just getting ready for another wave, so we're going to definitely reaccumulate here, very likely for it to touch the areas that I was speaking about. In relevance to the 4-hour time frame, they would be 275 to about 292 before we can get a continuation to that upside. The higher likelihood is landing within that 291 target. Okay, so just to be clear here, there's another thing that we should look at. Okay, so the 4-hour time frame is starting to print bearish engulfing here, an iteration, which means that if it's going to stair step its way down, then we could be looking at a further capitulation into the test of the newly converted resistance into support from that wedge. So this is essentially what could be happening, right? Something like this right over here. We get that test of the SMA 50, test the resistance one more time. We can actually come back down to that SMA 50, resistance touch of the SMA 50, and then retracement back to that wedge, and then upside, right? So the high of day is very likely in, and the reaccumulation event could be starting before a continuation on to the upside, starting effectively Thursday or Friday. Okay, you guys, so that's essentially what I'm looking at for ticker symbol SOUN. Very, very nice setup here. I think we're a little early in it. I think we can actually wait for the reaccumulation wave to finish, right? 4-hour time frame. We need to let this actually cool off entirely, and then it's going to come back up. And that's why I'm saying that it could be within, if it's not by the end of the day today, could be in relevance to tomorrow and then into Friday. Okay, you guys, I love it. Thank you so much for bringing up ticker symbol SOUN. Looking very, very nice. So let's see. You got in yesterday, Sebastian? That is awesome. That is awesome. So ticker symbol SONN also making that rip to the upside even still, or what? My goodness, man. I know that ticker is actually gonna... We were looking at it, right? We were evaluating it for quite some time now. So, oh, nice. Bullish engulfing printing, right? We're getting that support touch right from our area of resistance, right? So this is a newly converted resistance into support now. SMA 10 located right there too. Upside continuation, bullish engulfing on that 4-hour, and there could be a correction here on that stochastic momentum. We could be pivoting towards the upside. As you can see, the 4-hour time frame RSI is finding that support from the SMA 14 and still suggesting that upside. Here we go. We're starting to get a deeper green bar here, indicating a continuation to the upside. Okay, it's looking nice. I absolutely love what SONN is doing. Okay, you guys, let's keep an eye on that as well. AMC is still sitting at that about 494 target. GME looking at 2645. They're down on the day. It's not bad. It's still kind of balanced, right? So this is likely because the SPY is still holding that very top side that we're looking at. My goodness, man. So this is very, very... I mean, it's already overbought on the buy daily, right? So look at this. Stochastic momentum still suggesting an upside. In fact, it curved a little further up and sitting at that 93 spot, 52% of the overbought percentile on stochastics, okay? What I do like to see here, though, is that we do have trending ADX. It's not at that 25 or 30% just yet, but it's increasing, and the bulls are absolutely still in control. So any type of pullback here, of course, we still have to see what the Fed is going to say at the later part of the day, right? 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Keep your eyes on what the Fed says. We want to make sure that they say no more rate hikes, at least for this time around. We would get a very unique opportunity for an upside. And then also remember that I am open short on ticker symbol SQQQ. Okay, you guys, that's the inverse ETF Ultra Pro shorts. This is 2 times leveraged. So be careful when you are trading assets like this, as you would likely see 2 times the gains or 2 times the losses, right? So be very careful when you're trading leveraged tickers, okay, you guys? But there are some, I mean, the TQQQ is triple leveraged long, right? So that is just be careful trading these things, okay, you guys? So Sebastian Lim saying, I'm out. I done like last 5. Nice, man. Nice. Good deal. Destiny, good morning to you. Good to see you here. Sebastian Lim saying SECO is moving even more now. I don't believe it, bro. Are you serious? My goodness in heaven, that ticker is not stopping, right? So let's go ahead and go back to the master layout here and bring up that ticker, right? So SECO, man, oh man. Let's... I mean, usually these runs kind of stop by around. Actually, it's still relevant. It's 8:04 a.m. here in Pacific time, and it made a new high of day. Right, 118. Very, very impressive. Let me go to the daily chart here and see how it's looking, right? Very cool. Oh my goodness, man. That is actually a very clean break of market structure here. Okay, absolute ripper to the upside. And notice that the daily time frame RSI is still suggesting a continuation to the upside. Stochastic momentum upside pivot, critical volatility expanding. Okay, this is highly likely going to continue on to the upside, but of course, the immediate short-term time frame could be looking at a very small time frame pullback, right? So, things like this happen, right? So let's look at the 30-minute time frame to see if there is that potential. Still upside on that time frame. RSI suggesting a potential pullback to that SMA 14. So if we do have that SMA 14 located right down here, which by the way, it's in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, right? So very likely for the price action to find support from not only that gravitational zone, but also from the SMA 14, suggesting a continuation to the upside. So that paired with the SMA 10 right over here could be the area to look at, right? Also, the fact that there is a 30-minute gap right over here, higher likelihood. So 105 would be that zone for a potential long entry, right? So nice. I love it. SECO looking very good. So yes. So let me see. So John Smith saying for newer people, maybe chart SONN is a potential AI play that could run next few weeks. Restaurant and auto applications, incredible increase in year over year. So, wow. So we're looking at year over year revenue increases. Nice. So John Smith is also saying that it's the first platform that lets automakers provide customers with voice-enabled access to a combination of real-time information domains and generative AI models like ChatGPT, SoundHound AI. My goodness, man. So yeah, ChatGPT from OpenAI and SoundHound. Okay, very, very nice, man. Thank you so much for suggesting that. SONN is absolutely something that I'm going to load in. Do I already have it here? I actually don't have it. So you are right on the money, my brother. Let me go ahead and add it into the list for potential plays here because yes, I absolutely agree with you. SONN is looking very, very juicy. Okay, so we now have it on the watch list, right, for what we're going to be looking at in the next days, right? So this one, we actually were a little bit early on that. We were looking at position short on Victoria's Secret. Let's go ahead and get out of that. NVRO already played out, at least for our play, right? JKS already played out. 2ABM was another one, and GREE was, this one was semi-relevant, right? AAP was an upside that I was looking at too. AMRS was yesterday's play, and I think it's actually now making its upside 4% up on the day. Not bad, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what's going down. Snowdrifter saying, great, have a great day. Nice, man. Take care. I was happy that you can hear still what I was talking about, right? So the Wargos saying, VIRI pullback, great call. Oh, right. It got it? Oh, it did. Nice. So we're looking at that retracement right from that top side of the 206, right? But in fact, we got that 208 resistance touch, right? But we were looking at that potential target already since yesterday. So nice pullback here. And let's pull up the averages to see if it's actually meeting anything. My goodness, all the moving averages on the 8-hour are still kind of collecting their pace right there, right? It's trying to catch up to the price action as it has made pretty exponential moves to the upside. What I would have to say here and express a little bit of concern, and it's just for the immediate short-term time frame, right? But we're in the process of printing a very large shooting star A very high quality shooting star, by the way. But notice how we still have 4 hours and 51 minutes to the close of this 12-hour candle. Literally anything can happen within all that time frame, right? So Lion of all trades is saying AMC hit the bounce. Your support on point. No way. Good deal. Good deal. Let's go ahead and go back to that actually and take a look at what AMC did, right? So nice, man. Nice. I know that it's going to actually linger around that area, right? But we have to actually keep an eye on this. That's oftentimes, you know, there could be some trickery here, right? Especially with tickers like this when there has been a serious amount of shorts within it, right? So, I mean, oftentimes these ranges play out very nice. We're right at that resistance level of this range here. And also the support level that we faced was very likely to be faced, right? Since there is a lot of relevant price action leading all the way back here, December 2022, even further beyond, I'm sure. Yep. Lots of price action here, lots of relevance, right? So if the price action does suggest for a continuation to the way down, which the 8-hour might be kind of suggesting that. I mean, these little pivots, I don't trust them all the time, right? They often fail, right? So if this actually continues to a further downside, then there could, I mean, look at one more level, right? So it could be down to the zone of about, it's a range, right? So between 489 and about 475, and that it's still okay. It would not be the end of the world if the price action did lead to that downside there. So yeah, AMC is still looking like it's holding up pretty nice on the day. If the broader markets do start getting very bullish, then AMC and GME are likely to follow that trend as well, right? So let's go ahead and go back to this chat and see what else we have. So Sebastian Lim is saying KC have been mentioning this one on the Discord nonstop. It's slow and steady play. No way. Let's go ahead and load up what that ticker is doing, right? So that is ticker symbol KC. Let's see how it's moving throughout the day. I love it. I love it. So this, oh man, look at that. Very, very interesting top side. It's actually resisting at that top side. Let me see the daily actually and see what it's, man, look at that. Wow. Oh wow. Okay, so jeez, no way did it trap bears. This was a bear trap. I think it did. Let me this is a very clear line of regression. This is literally, no joke, regression at its best, right? So just like this, just like this, actually, perfect touches on that support, right? We're getting that golden cross here on the daily. Very nice. A little bit of convergence here within the moving averages, but that's not it's not a cause for concern. In fact, the price action could pull back one more time to around that 695 area to about 617. I'm sorry, 595 to 617. Could be a loading zone for this. And on the daily time frame, I don't think that it's going to come back. We have very, very high expectations, right? So we have huge upside on that daily in the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile and barely slowing down. MACD looking absolutely bullish on that daily as well. So, and what I mean by bear trap is I think this thing actually, I think it tricked the bears. And this is why I'm saying it, right? This is a broadening, ascending wedge. And this is a bearish formation traditionally, right? And it usually fails. It usually succeeds its downside upon the third test of the resistance. So if we're looking at resistance touches, you have clear test number 1, test number 2, test number 3, capitulation, right? We get the bounce from the support, bounce to the upside. We have that succession, right? And then usually this is the area where bears enter, right? So we get the success of the downside, face the support from wave number 2, right down here, right? Just like the price action did. Then we get that upside. Conservative bears enter this zone here, and notice how the SMA 10 curled to the upside. The longs used it as a liquidity trap. So this, man, if this is actually going to suggest a continuation to the upside, it might need a pullback first to that area of about, again, 595 to, I'd say, about the better part of about 622 before a continuation onto the upside, thus pressuring the bears even further. Okay, so this is Kingsoft Cloud Holdings Limited, ticker symbol KC on the daily. Okay, very nice golden cross right back here. The price action has been reflecting that too. Okay, so we're talking about a golden cross with a bearish formation, highly likely going to be a bear trap. Okay, you guys, so we're going to start seeing a lot of that stuff happen when we enter a bullish cycle, okay, or a more bullish cycle. So, things like this, literally. So this is absolutely in play. Very, very nice. Let me see the 4 hour. So 4 hour time frame is yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Check it out. We have clear overextension in volatility versus momentum, right? We're at critical volatility here, way overbought. Let's see, historically speaking, where we're retracing from, right? So I mean, we're retracing right. I mean, it's relevant to the areas of literally 1, 2, 3 iterations of that 96th percentile. So yeah, highly likely this is gonna pull back soon, right? And if we're looking at the 4 hour traders here, there could be a potential pullback to that area of about 599, right? But we're already looking at that potential drop anyway on the daily time frame. And that daily time frame, remember, the better part of about 592 to about that 622 area, right? So that's looking like it's more likely than not. So do not get long this ticker until you get the pullback, right? Get the discount first and then long the demand. Okay, so long the demand and sell the supply. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chat right over here. So I'm sorry that I haven't looked, right? So all right, so AHRO OTCC play with potential. Nice, my brother. Thank you so much for calling out all of these plays and participating with the community, right? So AHRO, let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's authentic holdings, and it's this is barcode like crazy, right? In fact, it is a very big reaccumulation formation, as this is called, a broadening descending wedge, right? Very notable formation, especially when we're coming out of bear market territory, right, you guys? So that's kind of like, let's see, it could be something like this right over here. Actually, we can actually face this resistance, right? And then the support touches are the really important ones to look at. Something along the lines of this could very well be it, right? We have that support touch there connecting perfectly to this bottom side here, marking a broadening descending wedge, right? So we have, let's see, test 1, 2, 3. This could be considered an upper term time frame trade too. So 3-day time frame looks like what it could be. 1, 2, 3 total, right? So then we have 4 fake out here, and this is the true breakout on test number 5. It's literally trying it. It's trying to get over on that test number 5 right now. So this, and it's testing the resistance thus far. So 2 zeros and 1 8 is that very top side on the day, and I think that it actually has a chance right here, right? We have a little bit of a bull flag printing there. I don't like those formations as much, but it's important for us to look at it anyway, right? So let's go back to the daily time frame and see what else it's got, right? So the moving averages, let's see, we're below the SMA 10 right now, but as you can see here, we're starting to get the SMA 200 and the SMA 50 converging, right? We're gonna see a lot of golden crosses coming in the next weeks. Okay, you guys, so definitely prepare yourself. Right now, position short may be initiated to take it back down to the area of about 2 zeros and 11, right? So if we can get that 2011, that could be a very strong area for longing the market here. Okay, so if we can long the market at that 0.11, there could be a high potential to make a continuation to the upside here, to which where we can face a resistance from the top side of 2034 to the very obvious 2039. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on this one. It's looking very good too. 4 hour time frame is something that I'm curious over on volatility versus momentum. We're starting to get that upside pivot on stochastic, so let's go ahead and see the bi-hourly time frame. Yep. Okay, yeah, this is absolutely a play, actually. Yeah, this is not bad. Let me see how far it's bleeding in though. 6 hour time frame has it. 8 hour time frame is starting to curl to the upside. Guys, this is absolutely another one that could be in play as well. Thank you so much, my friend, for suggesting this ticker as well. I know it's a little bit of a it's high risk because it's so cheap, right? So, and I was never actually an OTC trader. I was more small caps and blue chips, right? So blue chips I just like to see for broader market sentiment, right? But this is looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and add it into the list there as well, right? So very nice AHRO price action, right? I love it. I love it. We're starting to get the first implications over here of the golden cross. 8-hour golden cross already happening. Next up, 12-hour, then the daily, and then we can see what else it's gonna do, right, you guys? So I love it. I love to see everybody here, you guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Please make sure to hit that like button, hit that bell icon so that you can see when I am live. I am going to try to do this as often as possible, right, to try to get in at eventually 6 a.m. I'm approaching that 6:40 a.m. area right now, right? So my son is finally coming back to a pretty nice schedule, as he's been having some trouble, right? So just keep an eye on the Arca Bulls channels, guys, that I'm going to be streaming like this more often. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some other tickers, right? So ticker symbol GREE up 70% now. Wow, my goodness, man, that ticker is absolutely ripping that upside, right? So we were looking at that just a little bit ago, finding that resistance at that SMA 58 hour, right? So very, very curious. My goodness, let me see what the Gaussian channel is saying on the 8-hour. Perfect resistance touch right at the Gaussian channel top. You guys, that is absolutely looked at. It's trying to reclaim the inside of this channel, which, by the way, has been outside, let's see, since, wow, my goodness, so since literally May 5th, 2023. So this is, I mean, this is over a month of bearish action, and finally trying to come back in with this massive candle. So this is incredible. Oh my goodness. All right, this is the one that didn't have any like relevant news, right? So I didn't see anything release here. Of course, Reuters or someone could have pulled it out before TradingView, but TradingView is pretty good at putting out their news too. Let me see the algorithm technicals here. So we have a strong buy on the analyst rating and a neutral on the algorithm from TradingView. Okay, so I mean the forecast. Let's see what the forecast is saying. Right, we're looking at a potential. Man, look at that. the average is $20. That people are talking about that. I mean, $20. Jeez Louise, my goodness. Yeah, that's cool. That's not bad at all, man. I like it. In fact, let me go back to the chart and see. I want to see its earnings. We had a split right back here. Okay, we already saw that, right? The last earnings was a beat. Prior to that was just expected value. We had an earnings miss. It's normal. It's actually normal, right? I mean, there are more earnings misses than anything, but of course, we've been in a bear cycle for quite some time too. It's only expected, right? So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here within this ticker. Definitely good. Keep an eye on this one, guys. This is absolutely in play. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the chat right here. So CNNA is another one that we're looking at, right? Oh my goodness, GREE. Geez, that is crazy. It is finding the support from that SMA 50 right now. I'm not sure that it's going to be able to hold, but it's right there. Okay, so, oh, in fact, it's trying to create it into a resistance right now. That resistance 279 could be a strong one. Okay, so just keep an eye on your longs if you are long this ticker. Okay, so let's go ahead and now load up that ticker symbol CNNA and see what it's got. Right, so that is Canon, right? So the Can American Corp. So let's go ahead and pull that up and see what the deal is. 8-hour Gaussian channel. We're getting that touch of the mean band here, which is usually, look at this, upon the breakout of that mean band, usually we get an upside like that. Let me see the daily time frame to see what it's looking like even in that. So look at this. The anticipation of the golden cross happening. Just like I said, guys, remember, we're going to see a lot of golden crosses coming up in the coming weeks, right? Lots of golden crosses, lots of bullish action happening. What I can tell you is that while we are seeing this declining price action, just like this, right? We have declining price action met with declining volume. That often leads to a continuation to the downside, right? Unless we start getting that moving average. Remember, this is the daily though. It's relevant, right? We need to have, trade for some time. ADX is currently sitting at a massive 44% with an upside pivot on the bulls. DMI plus very, very, very likely going to face a resistance on the daily with that SMA 14 landing right above us, right? Just right over here. That could be a resistance touch to look at. And that, if we're looking at relevance here in moving averages, then there could be the resistance today, possibly at that 2 zeros and 8.5. Ticker symbol CAN. CNNA for Can American Corp. Okay, you guys keep an eye on this. There could be a continuation to that upside even still, right? So 4-hour time frame. Let me see that. Wow, we're barely getting that upside, guys. This is usually where I gain position entry, meaning that the pullback here to the SMA 50 or the SMA 10 at 20661. That could be a very, very important zone to look at. 30-minute time frame. Let's see if we got that pullback there. Overextension on the 30-minute. Very likely going to pull back a little bit. It's not going to be a lot. I'm definitely thinking it's just a reaccumulation phase before a continuation to the upside. So yeah, this it could be in the space between that, right? 2 zeros and 60. If not, we can come back to the 4-hour. Let me do the reversion variant instead, right? So the Gaussian channel is a lot better on the 8-hour time frames. So, that's far. Okay, so the top side of we could face that resistance, guys. We're still looking at support right now. If it were me, I'm looking at a position exit, liquidate position at 2 zeros and 8.6, as it's highly likely going to pull back from that area, and it would retrace back to the zone of about 2 zeros 5.9. To remember, this is discretionary as all hell, right? You guys to the space of about 2 zeros and 5.2, and that could be a reloading zone, right? So, 4-hour time frame. I mean, the ticker is looking really good overall. Right, so huge upside on this ticker. I absolutely love what I'm seeing here. Right, so another thing is that there could have been a little bit of a. Let's draw it. Let's draw it in. This is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so this is either a falling wedge, right, which is very bullish. Another thing to kind of look at here is this. Let me get the moving averages out of the way. And another perspective to kind of look at is this. So you have a shoulder right here, right shoulder on the top, and you have a shoulder right over here. So you have a head and shoulders formation overall, right? So that usually leads to a psychological downside. The way that you figure the price objective from that formation is take a trend line from the top side of the head, right? And then you apply it to the neckline, right? So that neckline then the trend line then gets applied to the bottom side of this shoulder right over here, suggesting a bottom of about 2 zeros and 19. That invalidation could be happening right now. This could have been bear trap. Just a lot of bear traps gonna happen too, you guys. So this is very interesting price action here, you guys. I'm liking it. You know what I'm not doing is actually I'm not seeing what my little boy is doing, right? So I need to make sure that I can have his camera up, right? The what is it called? It's one of his sleeping camera. I'm gonna try to wake him up maybe around 10 a.m. Right, so let's see what he's doing. He's napping. 72 degrees in his room. Everything good. He's probably in his 84th dream right now, hanging out with daddy. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to the chat and see what else we have, you guys. Yeah, upon the breakout of this, which, by the way, the short seller, sorry, let me come back to this, right? So the short sellers were probably looking at this head and shoulders like, yeah, let's go ahead and squeeze out the longs, right? We're going to take price action all the way to the downside. Upon doing this, you actually built a falling wedge, right? So if you're not looking at this falling wedge, then you could actually get trapped on this and really get messed up, right? Stick Vicious coming in hot, my brother. What's up, my dude? Thank you so much, my bro. I appreciate you so much, my battle. Good to see you here. I am starting the stream pretty early in the days now, right, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Man, we're going to go ahead. We've been looking at all kinds of tickers, man, all kinds of information. If I'm going to be really clear with you, too. Remember that the Fed is going to be speaking tonight. They're going to be, I'm sorry, this 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, okay? So they're going to be giving us the very important news of either they're going to pause the rate hikes or they're going to continue rate hiking, which I mean, 90% of sentiment through the Fed indicator is actually suggesting that they're going to pause. And if we do get a pause, the broader markets are likely to rally. But dude, thank you so much for your dono, my brother. That means a great deal to me and my family, my brother. So we're looking at ticker symbol CNNA. We were explaining here how this was actually a huge fake out, liquidity trap, bear trap situation, right, per this triangle. So I want you to notice too that usually the breakout zone for this triangle is located at about 65 to 70% to the apex of the triangle, right? We're probably there already. So, and it's already touching on that resistance, right? So finding out the psychological target for this type of formation, take a trend line from the top side of the triangle all the way to the bottom side. That's one set of bulls, okay? Let's just say that we were to break out maybe from this zone here, right? The top side is actually right at about almost 2 cents, right? So 186. Now, the second set of bulls, this is the other target, okay? You have 3 sets of bulls trading this formation, okay? The second set is actually from the center of the triangle, okay? So you take a trend line just like that, you apply it to that supposed area of breakout, and this would be your secondary target, right? 126. And then the last set of bulls is looked at just like this, okay? Right here from the area of breakout. We're talking about potentially breaking out from this zone here, right? So if we are getting that breakout from that area, let's just go ahead and apply it just like this, and this would be your first target to look at, right? Upon the breakout out of this formation here, we can see the resistance level of the space between this top side of this candle here, right, which is about 90, to the top side of the psychological target, first set of bulls, 95. Okay, from this zone here, we can actually see a retracement to test the newly converted resistance into support before a continuation onto the upside. And this is traditionally speaking, right? So this is just how this formation is traded. Okay, so let's go back to the chat and see what's going down. Thank you so much for pointing this one out, my brother. The 4-hour time frame here is absolutely suggesting a continuation to the upside. 6-hour time frame suggesting that upside. I have to say, you guys, this is another one to add into the kickers list, right? So let's go ahead and make sure to have that in there. My brother, you are looking at some very interesting tickers, and of course they're OTCs, but they're awesome opportunities nonetheless. There is a potential breakout happening already in the 8-hour time frame, right? So I like what's going on here. I definitely love it. Thank you for suggesting that, my brother. Then I'm talking to John Smith, right? So let's go ahead and see what else is going on. So Lion of All Trades saying, hey, Arca, got an interesting ticker for you. That's going to be SKYH. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. SKYH. Let's see what it's doing. Sky Harbor Group Corporation. I gotta say, I love that name. Sky Harbor is very cool. In fact, I think there was a band named that as I used to listen to a lot of metal back in my day, right? In fact, I could still play it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the daily time frame, right? We have that upside pivot here from critical volatility. In order for us to get an absolute upside here, there needs to be a tighter setup here, right? So we would need both of the volatility component and the moving average to be pivoted upside and beyond the 15% of volatility paired with that upside on stochastics, right? So it's very close to actually doing that. And in fact, the setup could be relevant to the shorter time frame. So let's look at that 4-hour time frame. I want to see what it's got for us, right? So 4-hour volatility versus momentum is what I'm kind of interested in looking at. Let's see. Oh man, look at that. Very, very healthy incline right over here. We're actually expanding in volatility as well. This is absolutely juicy. Okay, you guys, so we have that cross, the bullish cross of the RSI above the SMA 14. We're getting a bullish cross on the MACD with the first green print. Guys, this is looking very, very nice. The accumulation zone is literally active as we speak for ticker symbol SKYH, right? So let's go ahead and pull up the averages here and see what else we have. Very likely for this thing to pull back around the area of 494. That could be a zone to get long. The next zone would be right around that area of about 490. Okay, so 490, 494 could be a nice play, right? So 326 COSM coming down, right? So it already made that upside that we were looking for, right? So Lion of All Trades, thank you so much for bringing this up. I need to add this into the list as well. So we're gonna have it in the kickers list right over here and see what else we can look at, right? So let's go ahead and press that plus button on the trading view, right? So this is ticker symbol SKYH. SKYH. Lots of good plays being announced today, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around here with Arca. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you can be aware of when I do come live and when I do post some videos. Tonight, I'm going to be posting a few videos as well, just for this week. Remember, guys, I'm actually keeping it a little low key with the plays that we're suggesting because of what's happening within the Fed, right? So we're going to get that FOMC at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Do not forget about that. And we're going to see what is going to happen with the markets. Another thing that we should be keeping an eye on is this Friday's quadruple witching, right? The closing of a lot of things is going to be happening there, okay, you guys? So lots of options are going to be expiring. We're going to see what the heck is even the deal, right? So as I do feel that there could be a long opportunity come this Friday. Okay, you guys. So I'm talking about the larger caps and the indices too, right? So good plays coming up. Lots of OTCs that we've looked at today, guys. If you are curious over what I'm presently looking at, right? So per the suggestion of this awesome group here, of course I'm going to keep the SQQQ on top because that is my short play currently, right? So it's looking nice. I'm in the money. Very nice. Okay, so these are essentially the tickers that I'm looking at so far. AMRS was yesterday's play. I can leave Oracle was also something that we looked at today. You know, I'm going to get rid of AAP too. So far, this is the kickers list that we're going to add into the Discord members, right? We'll add it tonight. Very, very nice for everybody to come by and suggest their tickers, right? So the war goes saying SONN with another 13G. What did it say, my brother? Are we looking good for that or what? So Sebastian Lim, what is up, my dude? So Lion of All Trades saying beautiful, and Lion of All Trades saying no problem, brother. Yeah, for real, dude. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Let's go ahead and go back and refer to the broader markets and see what it has to say for us, right? So as we haven't seen that in quite a bit, I assume we're still holding that very nice target, right? Yep, we're still holding that 438.56, right? So man, it's looking very strong. It feels like we're so bullish over what could be happening today. This is incredible. Let's go ahead and take a look at KPTI on the the master layout, right? So KPTI for Stick Vicious here, my dono. Thank you so much, my bro, for your dono. Let's look at that. Let's look at this for you and see what it's got. So KPTI, yeah, NKLA, man, that's another one. It's been popping off, especially today, man. Oh my goodness, that was already in play in the pre-market. Huge potential for that ticker, right? I've been looking at it for some time already. It's just that it was never quite prepared, right? I mean, it's down heavily on the year, right? So Stick Vicious, this is actually looking like a wedge potential breakout, right? So a falling wedge, to be very specific. Right, so let me see if I actually can favor this somehow like this, because I'm feeling a little weird and I'm feeling like I'm forcing the formation just a little bit, right? So, I mean, a lot of times that could, this is test 3. Of course, it's coming back. Okay, so the bottom side, let's see, 4-hour time frame, right? We're getting that uptick in volatility coming out of critical contraction, looking not bad. Not bad whatsoever. In fact, I do see a continuation here ever so slightly to the downside. Potential entry zone could be 212. I'd say to the better part of about 209. That's, I mean, of course, that would be your, let me see in the daily. Would that mark your all-time low? And it's very possible, actually. A lot of assets are within their all-time lows, right? Or a 52-week low. So, yeah, there is a very nice reaccumulation event happening right over here on the daily time frame, right? So this is very likely to start loading for a potential upside soon. And like I said, I think it's going to be pertinent to the shorter term time frames, and this could be getting ready for that upside. It's converting that SMA 10 on the 4-hour into resistance. So this is why I'm saying that we could see a potential long, a 212 to about a 209, right? So keep your eyes on that target. I would long it from that position there, as this is also, man, this is also another high potential for a run or two. Let me see the bi-hourly time frame. Upside on that stochastic as well, man. Yep. This is definitely suggesting that potential. So upside pivot on the hourly, and let's see if we get that pullback on the 30-minute. That's where it's at, right? Yep, 30-minute pullback. That's what we're looking for. Crossing beneath the SMA 14, the loading zone. I'm still going to stick to it. 212 to 209. All right, so KPTI almost ready, my brother. I think that in the next couple days, it could make a pretty nice upside move, of which can be measured from the 4-hour time frame, as that's where I see it the most. The most relevant, right? So yeah, the next move to the upside could be about an 11% gainer. Not a bad scalp for tomorrow. Okay, so it's 8:38. It's still early intraday, so the support touch could take some time here. Let me see what it's trading in volume first of all. So the average volume we're looking at on a 10-day close is about 2 million. Right, so actually, I want to see its ATR. So I want to see what the average true range is on this, right? So let's go ahead and pull up the stock screener here. Let's make sure that all our values are set to 0 so that we can pull up the asset that we're currently looking at, right? So this is ticker symbol KPTI, and this is going to give us our, so we're looking at 11. It's a slow mover, okay? So it's a very slow mover. 11 cents is the average true range. So meaning that upon the touch of about 11 cents to the upside or downside, that's usually where it resists or supports. Okay, so on average is a very slow mover here, which could be indicative of, let's see, market capitalization sitting at a nice 242 million, and the share float is not bad, man. It's 100 million. I don't see why it's so slow. In fact, if there is news coming out on this, that could be the reason why it's starting to experience some higher volatility. But yeah, I see it as a mover. I definitely see it. It doesn't meet my criteria as with its volatility, right? The volatility is suggesting just 11 cents, right? So that's I wish that I could actually move some more, and then I would be more inclined to trading this, right? So the resistance level on the 4-hour, very curious, because that is exactly where the SMA 50 is located, right at the top side of our wedge. So already two things suggesting that potential resistance. We already faced it one time today. Very likely for this to come back down to that area that we're talking about before a continuation onto the upside and resisting again. This test number 3 is usually the biggest capitulation. So of course we would have to face the lower side of the range after that test 3, right? So perfectly executed, man. Nice, not bad. So let's go ahead. Yeah, NKLA, I know, man. It definitely has that, right? So the Wargo is saying heading to the gym, y'all. Y'all rock. I'll be back for the next live. Thank you, Arca, my brother. Thank you so much for stopping by. Handle the gym, stay healthy, and we'll chat soon. Okay, so John Smith saying LAES $10 to $24 past few minutes. No way. Oh, it just turned into Seals Q. Oh, no, Seals Q, AI-powered data processing pipelines can handle real-time streaming data for lot satellites and semiconductors, right? So, wow, ensuring smooth and continuous data flow. So if we're getting data flow like that, that's actually pretty good, man. So that was a Seals Q. It turned into a Q because it actually didn't meet compliance or what? So I'm just curious over why that would be, right? So oh man, what is $22? And we don't have the information yet. No market cap and no float to look at just yet. But I mean, this was a huge reaccumulation from that IPO, right? So this IPO'd on the 24th of May. It had a very nice upside here. It's already breaking market structure beyond this high. So closing a 4-hour candle upside of the 2604 can lead to a $38 run. Okay, so this was a falling wedge right here, and it's meeting the target very nicely. The target was right literally where we are right now. So, yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm definitely a fan of it. I see a pullback coming in, though, right? We're hugely overextended on the RSI and on stochastic. Actually, stochastic still suggesting an upside. So yeah, this thing could probably double. I don't want to say double top. I'm just saying that it could test its high of day, right? 2642 before retracing one more time. And possibly loading up for another potential run, as there could be a serious opportunity for that. I'm telling you, closing a candle above the area of 2604, which is above this wick here, that would be heavily bullish for this asset and definitely an upside to continue. Of course, the resistance would be faced right at that $38 level, potential retracement back to the current highs of about 26.37 before trying to break the all-time high. So that's nice, man, and it's actually nice to be saying those types of words within these markets, right? So I haven't had the chance to say anything with all-time high in it for a long time. As you know, we've been in a bear cycle for quite some time. Let me get a sip of this water. Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. All right, so Sebastian Lim, moderator Sebastian, saying RCRT, man, is it really creeping over there or what, man? Let's see. Let's pull it up and see how far down we are, man. Did it already 26.6, bro, it's still in that support. It's still within that area that we were looking at, right? So I forgot where we were trading this. Was this on a daily, the pennant? I forgot where it was, but it's somewhere there. But yeah, man, 26 to 27 is that loading range still, right? So let's see the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got going. Okay, so come on. Okay, yeah, we're starting to get that reloading here. This is a very limited downside, brother. I'm really bullish this asset, and I'm actually long this asset too. So I'm just waiting for it to kind of make that upside. Yeah, it's kind of sleeping now. It's not bad. It's just that of course we would like a continuation to the upside here, but it's got some things to settle first. It's making nice waves, right? So we'll see what that next wave is going to be. As soon as I'm in the green, 13%, 10%, I'm out, right? So as long as I can just mark the gain, then we would be all good. I have to say though, you guys, I'm gonna be exploring. I don't have a trading account that's $25,000 or more, and if those of you who know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. So I don't have a $25,000 trading account, which means that I cannot day trade as a pattern day trader, right? Per the PDT rule here in the U.S. While not having $25,000 in your brokerage account, you are not allowed to trade more than 3 day trades per week. Of course, you can bypass that by creating another broker and then having 6, and then another broker and then having 9, right? Oh my goodness, that just introduces a whole bunch of crap. But I am going to be honest with you. I am exploring the potential of looking at the E-minis, right? So futures trading contracts. So that's actually something that's been piquing my interest for now a couple months. As somebody told me that I would probably be good at it, so I can't wait to try that. I will let you guys know how that feels, but I am seriously considering trading the futures contracts as that area there for day traders. You can day trade as many times as you want within that zone, right? So that's very cool. That's very cool for us to keep in the consideration, right? So anyway, look at this. Actually, ticker symbol VIRI is actually making a continuation to that upside after the reaccumulation, right? So this is what I meant by saying that I don't think it's done. It's just coming back to reload for a potential upside continuation. We're getting that very nice daily golden cross, right? So that's essentially what a lot of people were kind of waiting for here. I absolutely love it. Looking very nice on the day. Okay, ticker symbol very highly likely to continue to the upside here. I think we saw the high of day though. In the event to where the algorithm changes, then we could be seeing a potential upside continuation starting from about 10:30 a.m. as that's usually when the time, the algos kind of change. Anything that was leading to the downside can start recovering. Just to be clear with everyone too, I don't like trading power hour. Okay, you guys, I never trade that area. In fact, a lot of my trades are completed by about 10:30 a.m. and that's where I'm done. Right? So, or even earlier. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. J-Dog saying thoughts on TRKA potentially regaining NASDAQ compliance today. Oh man, is today 10 consecutive days? I didn't even know that it was outside of compliance. I'm not following Troika as often as I did before, right? So let's see, 301. Oh my goodness. Wow. Let me pull up the daily and see what's going down, right? So I mean, this reverse split, so this is why the price is actually way higher. 1 to 25 split on Thursday, right? So today is the day. My goodness, I think it would regain it actually. $3. That's clean into compliance. That was a reverse split. The 1 to 25 ratio, right? And let's see the news. So. Entered into sales agreement with B. Riley Securities. Okay, that already kind of played into action right over here, right? So your screen aren't showing TRKA Arca. So thank you, my brother. So yeah, TRKA is finding that resistance on the daily SMA 10. Thank you, brother. And that could mark the high of day today, right? 314. If we could continue, we would need to convert that SMA 10 on the daily into support, which is in the process of doing. If it can hold that, then the continuation to the upside would be highly, highly likely. And I would say a resistance touch in the immediate short-term time frame, maybe even tomorrow, to 327 to about 341. If there is absolute bullish news here, then my top side resistance would actually land in the range of about 380 to around 406. All right, so that's an exponential move to the upside from the current price action. All right, so you would be looking at a potential 34% gainer. Okay, so keep your eyes on TRKA. This has actually presented a lot of trickery to a lot of longs. So be careful with this ticker, right? It has a lot of psychological impairment too. Okay, but the opportunity is clearly present. Let me see the 4-hour time frame for TRKA, right? So we have that upside pivot on the 4-hour, which is something we look at. Let's let it bleed into the 6-hour, into the 8-hour, and into the 12-hour, right? So that's absolutely the setup that I like to see. And definitely 12-hour making a bullish cross upside of that SMA 14. This is very likely to continue to the upside, and the sentiment is kind of showing it, okay? So we need to break this right here, right? The 320 top side of this, that would mark the break of market structure. So upon getting that breakout and closing a 12-hour iteration above 320, that would be the break of market structure, and then the validation for a continuation to the upside. To first of all, remember that target that I'm looking at is around 405. And it's also conveniently located right where the SMA 50 12-hour moving average is, right? So 12-hour SMA 50 is what I meant to say, right? So the top side of that range, I see it possible, but it does have a resistance, right? So 426 to around 438. That would be around that zone to look at. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And don't be overly bullish the asset when and if it does reaches those targets, right? Because you have to look back, right? Let's go ahead and just block out the visibility here and just look back relevant to the upper time frames, right? So if we're suggesting, or if we're looking at a potential target that could be right at about here at that 415, even into the 440 level, we're still in all essence printing a lower high, right? So I'm talking about in relevance to literally everything happening here, right? So all of these are lower highs even still. All right, what I do like about Troika is that it's building a massive broadening descending wedge. So that's very bullish. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So something like this, right? Just like this right over here, and this could be that bottom side, right? So this is that formation that we're building. Okay, it's very, very common within a bear market cycle to see this, right? So let's count the resistances. We have 1 resistance, 2. This is 3 with the biggest capitulation event, of course, the reloading, and then the touch of the all-time low, which is right back here. We're getting all of that. Okay, so this could be the start. We're probably catching this early. This could be the start of the true breakout, test number 4. The targets to the upside here in the coming weeks, if we are looking very bullish this asset, 889 to 890 could be a very strong area of resistance. Actually 835, right? So in relevance to the 12-hour, could break out around this time here. So 824, 825 could be a very nice resistance for this price, very likely to come back and reaccumulate to 508. I would say, between literally $1, 608 and 508. then the potential upside and breakout could happen. So I don't know what Troika has in store, right? So let me see here. Yeah, there's nothing actually released just yet as of my knowledge, right? So not a problem, J-Dog. Really appreciate you coming by. But I'm not familiar with the fundamentals of this asset, but it is showing some strength in the broader time frames, right? So one more thing we can actually do is pull up the Gaussian channel here and see what else we have. So please notice that the topside target that I'm looking at is actually right at the resistance of the Gaussian channel, right? So now that makes me curious over the fibs. So let's go ahead and bring up a range high to range low Fibonacci ratio, right? So this is the range here. All right, so yeah, 408. Right, we're looking at about that 415. This top side that we were, come on, get it. The top side we were looking at 405 rhymes with the 2-spot 618. So geometrically, mathematically, this is probable. Okay, and I definitely like it. Yeah, man, good job on this. Good job on TRKA. Is just it presents a lot of trickery, right? A lot of hard feelings within some people, especially. I know Sebastian Lim is not going to trade this, right? So keep an eye on your longs when trading highly psychologically impaired assets, right? So John Smith saying, IFAN, an OTC play broke out of descending wedge recently, high risk also. So let's go ahead and pull that up and take a look at it. My friend John Doe calling out all kinds of very nice plays. Thank you for your consideration, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. So yeah, absolute breakout from that, and you can clearly see it. So that is, wow. Okay, so you know what? This could be looked at in a few ways too. This is a lot of barcoding here, especially on that 12-hour. Actually, you know what? I'm curious to see what the ATR is on this. So let me see what the average true range is. So what is it again? IFAN? Yeah, so IFAN, and let's see what it's got. So how are you not pulling that up? Are you serious? Okay, cool. Nice. I can always pull up I'm so lazy to do the math, right? But I can also pull up an ATR indicator too. So let me go ahead and just pull up average true range, right? So this is a built-in algorithm. It'll tell us right away what it kind of has, right? A little bit of a slow mover, which is the reason why we're kind of barcoding, right? So that it's also because it's 2 zeros and 4. Three zeros and 8 right now. So we have average. Yeah, we have an average true range of about 3 zeros and 2. So being at least a quarter of the move from its high, that's not bad. And also almost, I would say 30% to the current price is not bad either. Okay, so yeah, this looks like it's trying to load for some upside actually. Wow. Huge gap up on the 4-hour too, marking a very important area of support between 3 zeros and 4 and 3 zeros and 3. Okay, 4-hour time frame is not corrected just yet, so let me look at the 30-minute and the hourly even still. Okay, let's see. Come on, any day now. There we go. All right, so 30-minute has an upside. That's very curious. Let's see the 1 hour. Upside on the hourly, bi-hourly with an upside pivot too, and the 4-hour seems to be reflecting that, or will reflect that soon. Okay, so this is preparing for an upside. It really is. And I do think that the most obvious area to look at, of course, in the relevant immediate short term, we have to combat a range, and that range would actually be located. Let's kind of measure it first, right? So the range is actually at 2 zeros and 10. So that's going to be about a 25% move to the upside. Pretty intense gainer here, right? So, and the top side of this would be around 64% to the upside. My goodness. Is this, I assume I have to go into TradeStation to trade this, right? And then the last resistance point, supply zone, would be 88% to the upside. Absolutely doable, actually. So I like it, man. I like it. John Smith putting this out. This one is super high risk, right? Market cap sitting at a 631K, and you're looking at a 529 million float. So huge float compared to a very, very micro cap, right? So of course high risk, right? But it does have high potential too. What I would have to warn is that this thing has, I don't want to say rug, but it has kind of rugged before, right? It literally almost to zero, right? So keep an eye on those probabilities too. But this is actually setting up for a very nice upside, and one that is not very obvious, right? So it was kind of hard for me to see this, but it's definitely there. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for sharing it with us. So now Declan P. McLaughlin saying, love your sessions. Thank you. What about ticker IMPP? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that right now, right? So let's see what it's got. So that's going to be Imperial Petroleum, NASDAQ ticker. And okay, pulling back. It doesn't feel like it's going to be okay. I got to give you this, right? This is a very typical setup. So you're looking at the bottom side demand, okay? The bottom side demand is what we want here, which is the top side range of this area here back from, May 2023. And yeah, it was within May, right? Middle of May. So this is the zone to kind of look at to get long the market, right? So that would be the zone of about $4.384. Okay, so upon getting this touch here, we have to be very, very careful. And why is that? Because failing a candle anywhere between it's literally 384 to 387. Failing a 4-hour candle below that range would invalidate this upside entirely and capitulate the price to first of all look at the range of about 339 to around 326. Okay, so that's it's a very typical play. I don't see it happening, as I do still, man. I mean, we can't be overly bullish too. We actually have a declining stochastic momentum on the 4-hour minimum. So one more thing to look at here. Oh, that was very close to creating a bearish. We definitely have it. Hold on. There is a drive of bearish divergence happening. Let me see. Not quite. Okay. What about this one here? Oh, we're literally escaping murder here. My goodness. Thank goodness that there is really nothing pertinent that's higher than the price action right now. I'm looking for an opposition, right? So could it be this one here? Let me see. Okay. We have one drive, okay? So this right over here, this peak, making a higher high in momentum, right? We're going to match it to this area here, making a... Come on, man. Where's the tool? It just didn't click. Just like this here. This is a drive of hidden bearish divergence, okay? So that usually presents a downside, and it's already validated. Okay, so that's kind of what I was looking for. I wanted to see if there could be anything that's driving the downside, and of course, it's a larger term time frame divergence, right? So that happens when there's an opposition of price action versus momentum, and in this case, momentum represented by RSI, right? So that already validated, and it's suggesting a continuation to the downside, and it's pretty aggressive. Okay, 4-hour time frame, absolutely capitulating here. When this happens, we want to find to see if the upper time frame RSI has a support coming up. So let's see the 12-hour. Let's see. Nope, we're actually crossing beneath the SMA 14. Let's see the daily, as this could be a day's up. Oh, come on. The tool is in the way. Let's get it out of the way. Come on, here we go. All right, so the daily time frame could be that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me make this a little bit bigger, right? So this is the RSI on the daily, and we can see that the downside is still coming down a little bit more, right? So this is a very important area. It's not to say that we're not gonna fail it. I just want to point out the fact that we absolutely have the gravitational zone here and the SMA 14 represented by that pink line. RSI signal cyan line comes back down to both those areas of support, highly likely going to bounce to the upside. Okay, so now if that is the case, then this brings a lot of light to these targets that we're talking about, specifically the top side, $4. Okay, so now let's meet it with some moving averages to see if there's anything in play there. Well, of course there is. The SMA 10 is located right at 395, which could be located right at about that $4 zone by the time price action reaches that. Okay, so very close to printing that abandoned baby, or I forgot which one, the inverse of that, right? So bearish formations happening there too, but it doesn't look like it's the end of the asset. In fact, this is actually following some pretty traditional rules. It's following some pretty traditional rules, right? So as you can see here, this is a bullish engulfing candle formation, suggesting an upside continuation, right? So all of this stuff is kind of it's in play for this asset. So it is respecting geometrics too, but let's validate it. So let's take into consideration an inverse fib from the top side candle, right? Just like this. And let's see if we have anything in relevance, right? So we're looking at that $4 zone. Take a look at the 2.618 golden mean located right at 203. So that now gives me an area of support that it's a little closer in relevance to where we're facing, right? So this now is my true area of entry, right? So I'm going to make the secondary area just a little more dim, just so that we know that it's present. We already saw it. We're not ignoring it, but we want to make sure that we can keep track geometrics as well, right? So this is the ghost support level, and this is the true support level that we're looking at for demand, right? So price action highly likely to reach this zone here. A bounce to the upside would only be appropriate to find support, resistance from the SMA 200 daily right at the 1.618. High relevance there, right at 421, both of them. Okay, very likely going to face a resistance there, come back and test that 2.618 one more time as a support, then continue to the upside. We've been doing that up and down with this asset, and it's literally indicating that we're doing it again. Okay, so IMPP looking pretty nice, and I still see a continuation to the upside, but we must settle the downside first. Failing a daily candle beneath 379 would invalidate this upside entirely, and that would create capitulation to, first of all, the support range of about 358 to around 346. Okay, so remember, that's your invalidation condition. Okay, so keep an eye on your longs, guys. Make sure to always keep an eye on your longs. You don't want to just gamble the market, right? So look at this, ticker symbol SPY still holding that 438. Oh my goodness, man, couldn't we be more bullish on the markets right now? Ticker symbol VIRI also looking absolutely bullish, holding that top side, right? We're facing the resistance, of course, from that 180 top side, the 199 top side that we're looking for, right? Also, if this prints in the next 3 hours and 55 minutes as a shooting star, very likely for the price action to come back down. Support touch could be faced at the bottom side of this gap, which could be 187 to around 185. Keep an eye on that too, okay, you guys? Let's go ahead and look at, wow, AMC actually still a little bit down on the day, still relevant in the price action, not bad. All right, so yeah, you guys, and COSM is, let's see. Yeah, let's take a look at COSM real quick. That is, man, it's holding the 329 area. 5-day volatility versus momentum still suggesting that upside, right? So we're still within that resistance. It's normal, guys. We're going to face the resistance of that mean band, but we're knocking at the door of it, and there could be a continuation to the upside, right? So now, Sebastian Lim, let's see. Sorry to bother you, Arca. Do you happen to have FFIE 12-hour expansion backtest from the past? Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. Maybe. I'm not sure. I've actually backtested so much, right? So, FFIE daily contraction to expansion. Which one were you looking for? Let's see. That was expansion. From expansion to contraction, or from contraction to expansion? And also, it looks like I only had that one. It looks like this is the only one I had. Wow. And that was, let's see. Yeah, that was critical expansion to expand. Critical contraction to expansion. And, man, it's actually in play for that statistical. Yeah, contraction to expansion. I have the daily, and this is the backtest result. So you're looking at 4 out of 4 iterations, marking a 100% accuracy. That has an 82.3%, 73% upside thrust over 10 days. I haven't calculated the standard deviation from this, right? But Let's see when the signal fired. So it could have been right on the opening of this candle here. And let's see how far the movement has been met, statistically speaking, right? So it would be from this area here to that top side. 48 spot, 28% has already been met from the average upside thrust, right? So that, I actually think it's reloading for a continuation to the upside. It's funny how the resistance that I had here is already the resistance for that 48%, but I want to see what it's like right all the way up here. 69, almost 70% to the top side of this. But if we are to face that continuation to the 82% upside total, which it's still in play, actually, it's still there. So that would mark the 2-spot 272 at 50.34. Okay, so keep an eye on that target. Damn. So this is the volatility, contraction to expansion, right? So one more time, right? We have that 4 out of 4 iterations, historically speaking, 100% upside accuracy, 82.73% move to the upside on average over the span of about 10 days. So from the firing of the signal is this candle here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the 6th day. And on the second day of the firing of that signal, we faced a 40% move to the upside. 48. The 82 spot 7% move to the upside leads to 50.42. So keep an eye on that 50.42 because the 2-spot 272 is also located right there. So there's high relevance in geometrics. So keep an eye on that, right? So now John Smith talking about ticker symbol. We can look at SONN again, no problem, but let me look at this symbol real quick. That's going to be, what was it, GSONN. Oh yeah, I remember we looked at that one too quite some time ago. Whoa, let me not mess around with my statistical backtest here. Let me go back to the master layout and take a look at what was it, GSONN, right, my brother? Let's see it. NASDAQ ticker. I do remember looking at this some time ago, not on the master layout. This was actually these are accumulation cycles. This is, let me see the 4-hour time frame. That's already upside on the daily on stochastics. Upside 4 hours, guys. Whoa. Let's see, the 6-hour RSI should be finding support soon. I mean, it's failing it, but let me see the 8-hour. The 8-hour is the relevant support that we're looking for, and we're right at it, which rhymes very well with the SMA 10 8-hour, right? So SMA 10 could be the loading zone, 114, and this is absolutely suggesting a continuation to the upside. Guys, GSONN is definitely one to keep on the watch list as well, right? So let's go ahead and upload the kickers list and see what we have there, right? So GSUN, dude, you are looking at so many tickers, man, that are actually high potentials here. So I know this is still, right, we're still looking at we're still looking at this the low float, the micro cap, right? So I mean 21 million and an 8 million float, right? So yeah, it's high risk, but you just have to make sure to be comfortable trading things like this, right? So symmetrical triangle breakout in validation, right? I'm sorry, in the process of validation as we speak, right? So this is essentially what I'm looking at right over here. The top side target for this formation, again, remember, right at the top side of the triangle to the bottom side there. Then we apply it to the area of breakout, which was actually this candle here. The top side of this is suggesting 140. So what the heck does that even mean, right? So I mean, we're validating the support right now. SMA 10 on the 8-hour located right there as well, 114, right? Let's get the fibs out. Let's see what it has. So what was the top side of this candle here? That was a high of 125, right? So right about here. Let's take it to the range low. Right at about this candle right there, okay? So the 2-spot 272 located right at 142, rhyming pretty nicely with the 140 psychological target. So psychological because this formation, although it is symmetrical, it doesn't have, it's just, the mathematical properties are not like a descending triangle to where you have a hypotenuse on the top side, right? So it's still amongst some of the formations that I do like to call out, the triangle family in general, right? But the descending triangle, the right angle triangle, that is a triangle that I absolutely like to call out. But this is breaking out at a pretty comfortable area. I mean, it's 85% to the apex of the triangle, It's a little late, but it's perfect, okay? And I'm saying perfectly because it's getting the retracement back to support. We get that validation there. The upside could be imminent, and it's showing on volatility versus momentum too, by the way. Okay, so let me load up the Gaussian channel and see how we're doing there. Okay, so yeah, breakout upside of the mean. We're potentially testing to try to break outside of the mean again. The mean is located very much in relevance to the NOT 382 at $1.16. Okay, so this is actually making me curious of an overall range fib level. So let me do that now and see where we're currently sitting. Okay, it's very important that I did this. And why is that? Because price action is landing right at 115. Notice that the 0.5 is at 116 here. What is that area? Let me know in the comment if you know what this area is between the 0.618 and the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio. Let's go ahead and just highlight this. Let me know in the chat if you know exactly what that's called. But we are absolutely in the bullish presence of something happening right over here, right? So man, GTII downhill every day is saying Destiny. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that as well, right? So if you are not familiar with what I'm talking about here, whenever price action is actually finding support within the area of the NOT 382 and the NOT 618, this is called the golden pocket, okay? So the golden pocket is a very bullish area to be sitting in, especially on the upper time frames, okay? So this is very good for the asset. I definitely see a pullback continuing to about that 114. If we do get that, bottom side of the 114 support level could be 113, and then we could be continuing on to the upside. Volatility and momentum showing that potential as well. Okay, you guys, so you know what? I can actually load it up. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this. Very, very good call on this, my brother. Thank you so much for sharing that with the community. And let's go ahead and pull up GTII and see what it's got going. We haven't seen it this entire time, right? So GTII, that's going to be Global Tech. The OTC, right? So let's see. This is low. My goodness. The low of 76.50. Yeah, remember that my bottom side was around 73 to about 70 cents, right? So as it would highly likely mark a very important area of demand, one of the higher areas of demand, of course, right? So we were already looking at 75 to 70, right? So it already got a bounce to the upside from that. 70.86 to be exact is the zone that I was looking at, right? A lot of people saying, Arca, the short sellers are looking at you. Man, guy, I'm really I guess I can say that I'm how would you call it? Would they be looking at me? Am I even that big? I don't think I'm anything, right? But I guess I'm not sure that I'm being looked at like that. I'm sure that it could be a possibility, but I think they have bigger fish to fry than little old Arca, right? So SONN says, Devin, let's go ahead and take a look at what it's doing, right, my brother? That is one of those plays, man. It is making some serious upside. We were talking about it a little earlier, and we'll go ahead and look at that ticker symbol too. I think somebody was at. I almost forgot about it. Right. So what was the ticker? Somebody said that I was already looking at it. Right. So, man, look at that. Nice high of day on that this ticker right here, you guys. Oh my goodness, we have that 70.05 top side right now. Woo! That is nice. 70.99. Man, this thing is pumping to the upside. It is critically overbought on the 8-hour, guys. Careful with this, okay? Because, yeah, I can see. I'm going to favor this, okay? 77.40 could be the top side yet again, and that could be the area to where we can look at as a previous day's high. Very, 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 very likely for price action to pull back. Remember, I'm talking about this zone as being the next potential chop zone before we continue to the upside, just like this was the last chop zone, right? Just like this, right over here. This was the area where we traded, right, and then breakout. Now we mark the next area, right? So we have to combat this zone too. It's not to say that the price action can't just literally launch to the upside, but if you are a range trader or a counter trend trader, that this would be essentially home for you, right? So this would be take profit just shy of that 77.60, right? Take profit there. Then re-entry at I would say near the 60-cent zone, which is the 4-spot 618 and the SMA 200 8-hour time frame, right? So could be within 59.35 to 60. And what is that move exactly, right? So if you're looking at a long to test the top side of this area here, you're looking at about 31%. Right, so let's just say that, for example, you did catch long from my area down here. That is a 40% range up and down. Okay, so lots of people can create a whole career just by knowing a trend like that and actually just pulling out short-term profits, right? So let's go ahead and mark the downside probability here. So you're looking at you're looking at a 29% gainer to the downside, 41% to the upside. Incredible range to look at, right? So I'm not saying that we're going to be trapped there forever. I'm just saying that price action, when making a new leg up, has to consolidate and validate the newly converted resistance into support before a continuation onto the upside, right? So upon that breakout, upon this breakout, that, I mean, it could happen in the next few days, then we could get a very heavy resistance at the top side of about 87 cents, right? Actually, it's a range, 87 to around 92, and that could potentially be the next leg up before a continuation to the upside. So it's looking not bad, guys. I definitely like what I'm seeing here. I love that we got all these tickers in line too. Okay, you guys. So as far as the broader markets, still looking heavily bullish. 438 holding. Please remember that at 2:30 Eastern time, we're gonna get the FOMC. Keep your eyes on that, okay? Because if they are talking about a pause for the first time in forever, guys, the market is gonna rally to the upside, presenting a very interesting opportunity for the markets coming along, right? So Devin, not a problem, my brother. Very happy to help you. And yeah, so GTII will continue keeping an eye on that too. So guys, I'm actually gonna have to cut it just a little bit early than normal, as I do see my son kind of waking up a little bit right now. I have to go keep an eye on him. But let's go ahead and touch bases again. I'm going to release a few videos tonight. Let's see. I probably will do some of these Arca scans, right? Because we have a lot of plays right here that were suggested in this the ticker picker today, right? So SONN was the one that we were kind of we wanted to look at. That's the one that I almost forgot, right? So yeah, SONN is in the process of a breakout right now. I still see the upside highly relevant, right? So 4-hour time frame actually getting us that pullback. I do think that we could actually look for a cheaper price to get long this asset. Okay, so if I'm looking at this from fresh eyes, then I would honestly have to favor, let me see the averages, right? So yeah, I would literally what I was pointing at, 292 and yeah, to the very bottom side of 278. I think we can get in this cheaper, right? I was talking about this potential ladder. People call these ladder attacks, right? But there could be a high potential that we can look at something like this, right? So this is why I'm saying that possibly that 278 level could be the zone to kind of get long before an upside, right? So wait for it. I would personally, I'm really cheap, I guess you can say, when it comes to entries in the market, right? So I still think that we could find a better valuation for this for a higher, for a higher reward. Okay, so yeah, keep your eye on this and definitely bullish this asset. We just need to wait back. We just need to wait for that 278 retracement, and I'm talking about really 278 as being the lowest possibility. One of the higher probabilities would be 291. Okay, so keep your eyes on those targets, and I think SONN is going to continue melting some phases here, as it is actually. Yeah. This was that ticker that I was talking about. It was a breakout formation, right? Just like this here. It was a falling wedge breakout, right? So we had that top side of the target not met just quite yet. So if you're looking at a top side, then that's you can take a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the bottom side of the triangle. You apply it to that area of breakout, and you can see here that the top side is around 381. Okay, so 381 is essentially the target, psychologically speaking. One more thing that you can do to kind of validate that potential top side is take into consideration, let me get these things out of the way, and also let me block the visibility. There, I see it now. Okay, so a fib from this area here, range high to range low, 384. is literally right at the 1.618, and you're getting 380 right at that psychological target. So geometrics are playing very nicely here, and there could be the building of an inverse herpy-derpy, right? So you have that inverse head and shoulders potentially happening right now, right? So now you can take a price objective for that too. This is your neckline, literally where we're sitting right now. If not a little bit higher, but I think it's still a pretty relevant area to look at, right? You take that trend line from the top side of the neckline to the bottom head, and then you apply it to the top side of the shoulder here, which I think could be right at about this resistance here, top side leading to around 395. So now you have a range to look at for a take profit, right? So that would be 382 per this target here of the triangle and the other psychological target, and all within the 1.618. 382 to 397 is your range. All right, you do. So that's kind of how I like figure how I figure things out. Right, so SECO at long range now, so 105 to 110. Let's look at it one more time before we cut off here. My son is definitely awake. I got to get to him, my brother, but let's see it real quick. He's not really panicking or doing nothing, right? So, yep, this is the long range for sure. I think the loading zone could be present now. So let's see the ARC averages, particular to the, let me see the 30-minute momentum. Yeah, that's right at the SMA 10. 106 was essentially that bottom. 106, 107 was nice. If you want to wait or actually scale in, then wait for the pullback to the 30-minute gap here, which could be 105 to about 104. Okay, so and then closing any candle below the area range. Okay, 95.69 to about 98.69. That's invalidation. Okay, so you want to set your stop loss somewhere around there. Okay, so keep it in mind. As there, I mean, just keep also in mind that the SMA 50 is slightly above this area here. So maybe the bottom side of this candle here, or ever slightly just lower than that, 95.50. So probably 94.50 could, or 95, right, directly on it could be the stop loss to set. So since price action would actually find support right at the SMA 50 and not below it. Okay, so keep an eye on that. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here. So John Smith saying TMF 3 times. So this is a 3x levered ETF, 20-year treasury bill could pop up 2 p.m. if rate pause. That is absolutely true. Keep your eyes on that ticker, you guys. So the TQQQ, the QQQ would be great longs as well, right? So as long as also the TMF ticker, you can play short the SQQQ and the SPXU. All right, so that's another one there. So yeah, the direction daily, right? So this is right here, a 3 times lever. So keep your eyes on this, okay? Because yeah, he's absolutely right. There could be a serious run on this, okay, you guys, as it is following. I mean, it's in the vein of the price action that we've been facing, right? But this is very clearly a reaccumulation phase. And this is actually set to potentially break out soon, right? So keep your eyes on this, guys. Just remember that when you're trading assets like this, you're looking at a 3 times lever, right? So that means 3 times your gains, 3 times your losses. Keep an eye on that, okay? Leverage tickers are definitely a good way to keep into consideration some magnifying of gains, but it also can magnify your losses too, okay? So this goes out to my beginner traders, okay? So please keep in mind that the 4-hour time frame is actually in the process of potentially finding a breakout here from what could be looked at as a right-angled triangle, okay? So this right here, take a trend line from the top side, which would be the hypotenuse of the triangle, right, all the way to the bottom side of that support, apply it to the supposed area of breakout, which is typically around 75 to 70% to the apex of the triangle, which is pretty much there. The top side target is leading to very close to the SMA 200. I know it's hard to see it. I can actually make it just a little bit brighter or thicker so that we can see exactly where it is, right? So in fact, I can make it a brighter color. There we go. Okay, so this is your SMA 200 on the 4-hour chart, right? So now it marks off an area of resistance that you can look at for the short-term trade. Okay, get in line with the people trying to wait for what the Fed is going to say. Okay, upon them announcing the high potential of a pause, then lots of things are going to rally to the upside, presenting heavy opportunities here. 4-hour time frame already suggesting that upside and increasing volatility. Okay, you guys, so now if you want to know what that topside target is from the valuation that we're presently in, you're looking at about an 8.91% move to the upside. Remember, 3x levered though. Okay, so that could present a very nice opportunity, all right? So now one more thing we can look at is actually the 8-hour Gaussian channel. Let's see what it's got to say. I'm going to have to go ahead and cut this out pretty soon, you guys. So let me just do this real fast. Man, are you serious? What is going on with me? There we go. All right. Yep, top side of the Gaussian channel, right at the area that we're looking at for the first area of take profit, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's not to say that it can't actually go above it just ever so slightly, but we're knocking at the door of reclaiming the inside of this Gaussian channel, looking very nice. Okay, you guys, so everything is indicative here of us potentially meeting the top side of that Gaussian, even breaking out of it for the first time in forever, right? Very likely for us to face a resistance from the area of about 840, retracement back to around 796 before this thing continuing on to the upside. But we want to keep an eye on the Fed, okay, you guys? This is Fed day today. We must respect it as such. All right, team, so I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. I'm sorry. So Destiny saying I sold SECO at 106 aftermarket yesterday because of FOMC today. As long as you got your green, right? As long as you got your gain. But the FOMC meet today is absolutely critical. So keep an eye on that, okay? 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Keep that in line. Damn, SECO, guys, I'm never going to leave here. Sebastian, then we'll continue taking a look at that. My brother, I definitely have to peace out. My little boy's over there doing all kinds of just, I don't know what. All right, so I love you guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. We'll go ahead and stream again tomorrow morning. Keep the notification bell on, and you'll see when I'm coming on, right? I'm going to try to do it earlier and earlier, but it really all is dependent on my son, right, you guys? But with that said, I wish everybody very well, a very good rest of your day, and I will actually catch you at the bell mañana. All right, team? Love you all. Take care. Adios.